Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to part 2 of this episode of... Oh, I forgot to take away the card again. Did that twice on the same recording. So, since last time, of course, I've done a little bit more research into a particular avenue of this video, but I want to talk about it when we start the recording. So, not going to do much of an intro this time because you already did it the first time. So here we are again. If you're watching the VOD and you haven't seen part 1, go watch part 1. But if you're here for the stream, then we shall proceed. It seems like we're missing Bond today. However, it seems that we have the person who suggested this video, the person who this video did suggest, our usual guest, Aiden the Best.
Yes.
I should have started that out normally.
No, okay, so Bond's here. Into the unknown. Into the unknown.
Imagine if now.
Yes.
I love how you went up like 5 different octaves, even though like the one that you would have been in normally would have been within your range, but you went into the falsetto one instead.
Listen, okay, I've been sick. I am currently sick. It's not fun. I must make jokes to feel better.
That's fine. You know, go the extra mile. And by extra mile, I do mean that musically. I didn't watch the VOD. Hello, I'm right here. I mean, okay. So, do you want to return for this? Because I can all because yeah, I don't know. You didn't say if you wanted to come back or not for this, but for today, I can send that to you if you want. Just checking. Because also, I wonder if Maya's here today. But yeah, you get priority for now. Okay, while I wait for that reply, I guess we will load up the video. How am I doing, by the way? I'm doing pretty well today. Went to the theater, so there's that. always happy after that. Like I said in Walking Wednesday, what compares to a night at the theater? An afternoon at the theater. Not quite the same level, but close enough. I also think like I'm much closer. Speaking of close, I think I'm close to my camera for some reason. I think I've just angled it in a way that I'm much further forward than I normally. I don't know. Whatever. Not relevant for now. It seems that Bond hasn't responded, so
Give them a minute. They're thinking probably.
You know what? I'll just send the link in DMs anyway.
In the DMs.
Yes, in the DMs.
There's only one DMs, and it's a very special DMs. It's the DMs.
There's only one DMs, but the singular for DMs is also DMs.
Yes. Well, I mean, is that not true? Like, what would it be? DM? Oh, yeah. Don't mind that. Yeah, I make all the sense in the world. What do you mean?
Okay. With that, I guess we shall proceed. I think I've re-rendered this video, so it's just part 2 now. So if there are any errors, it's probably it might be on my end. I'll have to check. Oh, can't today, so someone can take your spot. Maya, if you're here, get in.
I don't think Maya's here, dude.
Okay, but anyway, as I was saying, rewriting should be a little bit easier this time, but also we're starting off, we left off last time on When Winter Strikes.
They had a training montage. Yes.
Yeah.
Training montage.
I thought I'd pick it up here just to, hype people up again.
Although this will get you copyright claimed.
Ah, I am so very glad you mentioned that, because I was going to have a tangent about this after the montage had ended, but I guess I will proceed things a little bit forward. So I said I did some research on this. What I found out was that the song in question is actually one. It's called "Stronger," which is by
obviously.
Lemon Fight by Jessica, well, featuring Jessica Reynoso. And again, it's one that seems to be a little bit of romantic ballad, but also one about like actually making someone stronger, which actually I forgot to say is a very appropriate choice for a training montage because someone's quite literally making you stronger. In fact, I want to do a parody of that as Piccolo, but that's beside the point. We'll get to that later. For now, the thing that I realized in that is that this song has actually been featured for the last 5 years on No Copyright Sounds.
So no copyright.
So no copyright. But the reason that that's interesting to me is because if people recall, one of the things that that this creator Ariane, I can't remember exactly, said, I think in this image that I still have loaded. No, it's the other one. Non-copyright music is also pretty hard to find, so I heavily apologize for it. Well, clearly it's not very hard to find if your one musical piece is from one of the largest libraries of non-copyrighted soundtracks.
Aha! That's where I get all my Fallen Angels soundtracks. Like all the theme songs, like both theme songs for both seasons are literally from No Copyright Sounds.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's where I got mine.
Yeah, I think I knew until we break down years before Fallen Angels for that very reason. So yeah, clearly you've sourced a bunch of music from there because any soundtrack, any songs that don't come from me, come from there. So yeah, it's not difficult at all, really.
And plus, I mean, if you want no copyright, non-copyrighted background music, just use the YouTube audio library. Honestly, that's a great resource.
Yeah, I said that last time. You can even do that. You can use the YouTube audio library after you've uploaded the video if you really want to. That's one of the features. But oh well. Oh look, it does look like we've got a guest for today. Who was with here before, but since Bond's not here, we've got Maya.
Hey yo.
Hi.
It comes full circle. Now everyone who was supposed to be here yesterday is here today. Brilliant. All right. How was the gym yesterday?
Oh my god, it was so much fun. Oopsies.
Reason I asked that is because that's where Maya was. That's why it's relevant.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Maya dipped to go to the gym.
I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do for yourself,
I forgot that I'm like decently strong and know how to exercise. But it like walking when it's not -8 degrees out, so nice.
Fair enough. I thought you were going to say that the walking was the harding part or something. The harder part.
I forgot that I liked walking.
Oh, fair enough.
When I'm not freezing.
That's one thing you do not have in common with my brother, because he loves working out, but he hates walking. But you clearly like both, so stars align, I suppose.
My friend was also like, "Are you double jointed? Because I'm really flexible." Oh my god, I do speak in third person sometimes. I'm not double jointed. I'm just really flexible.
I could do that as well without bending them. Anyway, what is it? -8. Is that what freezing is to you? Well, by technical
it is way
definition,
below freezing.
Scientifically, it is definitely below freezing. Okay, speaking of freezing, let's get back to the video about winter. I like to imagine their dialogue just Animal Crossing whenever they're sparring.
Listen, I just want to do an Animal Crossing dub of Mutant Crawler Fallen Angels. I think that'd be hilarious.
Hey, you could basically do that. In fact, you don't even need me for that, Aiden. You could just do that.
Yeah, just like dang.
Why does one have a stick and one has a sword?
Because he's training her.
Yeah, he could only afford one sword, so he lent her his own one. He's poor.
Even though if I were her, I wouldn't. I would have you both have swords or both have sticks.
Yeah, just get like thicker sticks or something, and then like smooth them out or one of those things.
You're in a forest.
Also, just saying, there's one problem with the girl's rig that I just realized. See that cape around her waist?
Yeah.
So her legs sometimes completely clip through the cape.
Ah. Yikes. I'll watch out for that if that happens again.
Like, look at her legs in relation to
No,
Kate.
yeah,
It happens mostly when she kicks.
Oh,
it's
well,
like-
yeah, that makes sense. Okay, no, I saw it now. Yeah, I saw it just there because her knee went straight through. That was an unfair victory because the guy got distracted by Vivian's vampire strike. It looks like KW was not impressed by this, by the way. That was supposed to be fighting? I know they're training, but step up your game, jeez.
I mean, KW, the Zelda project didn't have the most intense fighting in the world.
Well,
I mean, I was referring to the bits KW did, not the Bond bits. I thought the Bond bits are fine.
Well, I mean, some of the Bond bits as well. I'm not gonna lie, that was.
Listen, I liked
that was
the
a
sword
choice.
thing. It was funny. It was like.
You're throwing shots
I know it was
right
like.
now.
That's the point I was getting
Listen,
across.
that was a cool shot. I like that. Bon, you do
It was
you.
2 arms smashing into each other repeatedly.
Yeah, and that's cool though.
Why? Imagine if the fights in Star Wars were like that. You just like cut off people's there's like the hands. All you see is
That was basic.
Says you, Mr. Slash swords together equals fighting. That's exactly that's yours. Also was slashing swords. That was
That's
that doesn't
magic
make
bits,
sense.
But you know.
Oh, good job, princess.
Backwards hand.
Finally.
I think that was deliberate, so that, like the hand will like
yeah.
high five properly. Yeah.
Seems like you're ready, Cal. Great
Okay, sure.
And that's not one for the Cal counter. I don't think we had one of those. I think it was like 4 now.
I wouldn't have done it without you, Teach.
It is pretty impressive, though. You may.
I was gonna ask if he looked taller for some reason. Like
I think he
you
is
know,
taller.
Actually, no. It's just that his feet are higher up. I think he's just standing on a mound of snow. Magic. Yeah, I know. I'm not talking about the entire scene. I said some of the Bond bits. Specifically that bit that I mentioned just there.
But it was great, okay? Bon, it was amazing. Listen, I'm just saying, I liked it, okay? I liked the whole fight scene. Best fight scene ever.
Fair enough. I liked most of it.
Managed to learn it in a maximum of 3 days non-stop.
Oh, I mean, I guess that does make sense because we saw the montage that not many days had actually passed.
Especially with all the snow around.
That's actually a fair point. The blizzard. I guess he can blast the weather away, but that was the question. Like, how fast is this winter supposed to, this winter takeover? Because the blizzard arrived like immediately. The snow has been there regardless of whether the storm clouds have returned.
Oh my god! Imagine they break this curse, but then they return home. It's like, hey, Dad, I'm home. Everyone's just frozen. The castle's fully iced over. Everyone is dead. It's like, oh,
They got 3 days. I bet you've got saying your link to restream now. You said you wouldn't. You said you weren't coming, so no.
Well, you know.
It would normally take more than that.
Well, now that I've learned how to use a sword, I think we should get going soon. A lot of time has already gone by. Vivian, you know the way to the Lazellians, right?
Huh? Oh, no, I don't, actually.
Oh,
Wow.
how about your spells? Do you have any to point out their location, or a map that leads to them?
Just cast a 4-point spell.
So wait, let me get this straight. While they were training, you weren't researching of where to go.
No, she was just observing them. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Huh. So they're a lot harder to find than I thought.
You think?
Actually, normally they find you. You've been attacked twice by Lazellians. I mean, granted, she was fainted for one of those times. She doesn't know about the second one, but it did happen. Aiden here can probably say that. By the way, people are confused. Blonde character on the right is called Aiden as well, with an E.
There's 2 of me. I have duplicated for this video.
Yeah.
They sound nice.
Do not have a crush on Aiden. He's a fake. He's a phony.
What? Who said anything about a crush? I just said
No potential crushing.
how is that? That's just a compliment.
I don't want to risk it.
I was saying that all of the characters sound nice.
Okay, you crush on everyone except for Aiden. He can't.
What?
I have a
He's
boyfriend
fake.
who I have a crush on. Thank you very much.
Okay, good.
I was gonna say. I mean, and also one compliment does not equal crush.
I'm not a fan fiction character.
Well, no, but then again, you are normally the person who picks up on a compliment that a character as good as someone else, and then made a ship out of them. So you just happen to be the subject this time rather than the cause.
Exactly.
Wait, if we somehow get close to their territory, you'd feel their aura, wouldn't you?
I mean, you could
Yes.
also.
So let's
you could,
scatter in random directions and hope you find it. What kind of plan is that?
I mean, just go back to where you passed out initially. If you go there, hypothetically, wait for them to jump you, like you be bait. Wait for them to jump you, but then Aiden and the girl and the other girl here gets behind them, knocks them out, and captures them, and then uses them for information. Then you can find the location for LTVs.
Yeah, either that or, surprise, I have a sword, /// leave one alive as a prisoner and take you there.
But
On a gacha
No.
note, everything's really smooth, and the lips like move with the words
Yeah,
like
it's
in
lip
time,
sync.
and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's what live 2D lip syncing gets you.
know how huge the forest is, right? It could take us weeks to find it, even months.
That's alright. I'm willing to take the risk no matter how far or how long it takes. Even if stopping this is the last thing I do.
Talk about
And they
real
blink.
determination.
Yeah, well, I mentioned this last time, but the thing that I like the most about this is that they fidget. The characters are very rarely still for too long. That's what I like the most. Because I've talked about the redundancy of lip syncing at times, and also the fact that Gacha has a blinking function anyway. But yeah, like the fidgeting, that's something that you can't really replicate that well.
The
as much as
tweening
Gacha does.
constantly. Oof.
Yeah.
Tweening is so nice.
I would have known how to find them if I was a superior.
What does you being superior have to do with their location?
A superior.
Yeah, it's her not
A.
being superior. That's the point. She's not a superior.
No.
I'm not sure if you know this, but our bloodline closely
do know.
resembles those of a Luzilian. Not the physiques, just the traits.
So I've heard.
I'm sorry, did you say physic use?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you meant to say physique. Because that's how that word is spelled.
Oh wait, really? That wasn't just a
Yep.
fancy, fake, made-up word. Oh, never mind.
Trust me, I've been directing gacha videos for nearly 5 years. I definitely recognize a flubbed line when I hear one.
Physique, and it got animated and lip synced. No.
Yeah, like you gotta wonder, like it's like within the animation time, do you not have time to go with the actor and talk about that? Anyway,
Yeah, not many know their origins. Neither do I, but when a vampire becomes superior, they're able to sense the Luzilian's aura. Or
okay, so here's what we gotta do. We gotta break into the angelic realm, go into the circle, and complete the ritual to become an archangel.
their
Okay,
territory,
valid
even
plan.
if they're miles apart.
Even if you explode in the process.
Absolutely,
That was
Reason
technically a
is still-
possibility, but
I remember. Yeah.
Fun
Uncertain.
times.
I've tried researching, but I only end up with false hopes.
I see. Well, I guess we're down to searching till the end of the woods then.
To defeat
Wherever you
the
go,
odds.
I'll follow. Vivian?
Okay, let's head out then.
Looks like a full moon is out tonight.
Yeah, and it's even more.
I'm sorry. Does it? I don't see it. Where is
Where
it?
in the world are
Point-
you?
Point it to me. Point
In the
point
blue
out the
forest.
moon to me right now.
In the blue forest, Jacob, obviously.
Why is the entire forest frozen though?
Because
Because
In
let
the
it go.
sky.
'Cause
oh yeah,
let it
the
go.
whole the whole movie is about this winter that has come as a reckoning by the magic wielders to all of the kingdoms because the wielders were banished many years ago. This was
Okay,
like
but
the
how did
curse
they
that has come
freeze the
back now.
sky?
Well, like, I guess because it's a magical storm, and the magical winter's being sustained by the magic. The sky was surrounded by magic, so the sky looks frozen. It's not like it's like a block of ice or anything.
Okay.
This is the part where they meet the sentient snowman that dreams of summer. Yeah, potentially.
I was like, Olaf?
Yeah. Also, I'd like to remind everyone that Cal forehammered the sword out of a tree last episode. Just making sure if you don't forget. Okay, all right then. Thank you for reminding me. I also remember the sword did not like wedge into the tree; it just kind of like stuck onto it. But yeah,
Appealing seeing it out here than from my balcony.
What makes it more appealing out here?
Well, out here, it's like I feel even closer to it and I can feel its presence within.
technically you're further away because you're down further to the ground than the moon would be. Anyway.
So, to me, the feeling is different. Like a feeling of freedom. And through its vast infiniteness, I met you.
Perhaps that's another reason Vivian likes the night so much too.
Maybe.
Vivian totally has a crush on me as well.
Speaking of which, I never got to ask. How did you two meet, by the way?
Well, we met in this same forest. It was actually a few years back. I was in the woods exploring while trying to collect some wood for my father.
Don't go too far, Aiden. You know there are dangers in these woods.
Oh yes, I am calling to you. I'm definitely projecting my voice and not restrained by the accent I'm giving this character.
Yes, father. What
Who is
seems
that?
to be some good
That's a young Aiden.
sticks?
Is he a pilot?
Oh no. I
Could
don't
be.
mean any harm, so I'll just be on my way now.
Let me gallop after you very slowly with barely any sound.
I need to lose it somehow. If I could just...
I love how he sounds out of breath inside of his own mind.
Oh no. Dad,
Don't stop.
Dad.
What? Oh yeah, this is a great strategy to avoid being attacked by a Luzelian. Stop in the middle of your tracks and yell towards the sky.
Wait, are they fighting horses?
Yeah.
Well, these,
Okay.
there's one of these dragon creatures. They're called Lozelians. It's
They're evil horses.
I suppose in a way. Oh right, okay, that's what you meant. There, she used the force. Yes, that's true because we saw it in like the montage just now. Which, by the way, is a big deal because since Cal is not supposed is a princess, it was her ancestors who banished the Widows in the first place. She's not supposed to know how to wield any magic.
Oh my god, it's like Frozen.
I suppose did the king queen like banish other like magic?
No, but magic was scary to them, so or sort of after the accident.
I see. Yeah, not gonna lie, I'd be scared about that as well.
Someone...
Front-facing model.
Yeah.
Is this first front-facing model?
should pick on someone your own size.
Why does he sound so much younger? I mean, I understand like
I think
this is
it's
years
flashback.
ago, but also that is years ago. But remember, she's like half vampire, right? Shouldn't she have like aged much more slowly and therefore be older? I would have thought.
alright?
Vampires don't age unless she's like a half vampire, right?
She is a half vampire. I thought that meant that she
Oh.
would age much more slowly, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe she does have immortality.
I
Who
am.
knows?
Maybe that's how hags are born in this universe. They have eternal life, but not eternal youth.
Thank you.
It's a good thing I was around, otherwise you would have been dead meat.
Literally. I'm Aiden, and you are...
Vivian.
Aiden!
I see they introduce themselves in much the same way. Because Aiden himself does a lot of winking, especially towards Cal, and Aiden's like saved her a bunch of times. It seems like he must have picked up that trait from Vivian. Interesting.
Where are you, son?
Dad?
Maybe if I shout a bit louder, I might find you sooner.
I'm over here!
Are you alright? What happened?
Also, where did my accent go? First of all, where's my accent?
I heard
Man,
scream.
you had an accent, then you immediately lost your accent.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm alright now. I was...
Yeah. What do you mean, shush? He clearly saw you right before he arrived. You were like you were like 2
He did-
paces away.
He didn't have peripheral vision, okay?
He was looking right at her. And she moved out the way, and Aiden rushed up and hugged him. There was no way he didn't see her.
It was just a small creature, and its shadow was just intimidating. That's all.
Ah, is that why it flew into the tree right above me? Don't think I didn't see that.
Maybe it was like maybe the way the
alright.
perspective shot in the backgrounds were like maybe he was meant to be a lot more further away, maybe behind like passing a tree or something where you didn't see her. Again, it would just be an execution thing at that point.
Damn. At least I know you're safe. Now let's go back. Your sister has already found enough sticks for the fire.
Ah, sister, that's interesting information.
So that's how we first
And
met.
then she died.
Potentially.
I kept meeting her every once in a while, and we got to know each other. But
And then we got
eventually became
married. The end.
distant. That is, until you came along.
Pretty interesting story.
Isn't it?
Vivian, you were here the whole time?
Yep.
She's a
but here in the
vampire.
part
She's
I came in.
sneaky.
Yeah, I guess that's my thing. I observe and sneak from trees.
Though, nothing's changed. I'm basically still Aiden's savior at this point, since he keeps running in and out of trouble.
Makes sense, since you were the one who saved him too when I was unconscious, right?
Precisely.
Yeah, but he saved
Well,
you. What does that
it
make
isn't
you?
exactly my fault that I'm this charming to be chased after.
He's just paying it back or
Charm
paying
is
it
going
forward.
to be the death
Hmm.
of you one day.
And that day will be the day you're no longer my savior. Otherwise, you'd prevent me from dying.
By the way, I just got noticing the silent laugh from Calissa. Was it that hard to like get the voice actor to laugh like do a little bit of like a giggle? I know that fake laughter is actually a difficult skill for some voice actors. We do that for some reason. The ones that are bad at fake laughing, good at fake crying, and vice versa. But I don't know. Maybe that was
Fake
the issue.
crying is somewhat easy because you don't need tears. You just need to sound like you're crying.
Fake crying is hard.
Like,
And there's the debate. Thank you both for demonstrating that for me.
Please, I'm just being nice. I have to keep up my reputation too, you know.
Yeah,
I had a teacher who used to say that. Don't tell people I'm nice. I've got a reputation to uphold.
right.
aw.
I'm
Oh,
glad
that
I
was my
able to
6th
bring
grade
you-
elementary school teacher. Like, she would make me cry until I got into her class and I realized it was all an act.
Oh, right. Okay. This teacher I'm talking about never went that far. It was just that, she was like she was known to be, she was the deputy head at the time. She's now the head. But yeah, she was known to be like exceptionally strict. But like outside of her own classroom, I didn't know she had a classroom until I was assigned to it. And then turns out, yeah, she's actually very easygoing when she's teaching.
Yeah, no, she was in charge of making sure that people behaved during lunch. And given that there were like
Yes.
300 kids, she would yell at everybody. And then
I
I would
always
always
hated
cry
that
because I thought I
lunch.
was in trouble.
I always hate that in lunch because like the thing was like when everyone got yelled at and I was doing nothing, I felt upset. I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah,
I have just
except-
been sitting here.
exactly. I'm like, I'm just sitting here reading a book. And then I would start crying because I'm like, I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah, I do recall, needing like verbal clarification myself at sometimes. It's like, you you were just in the background. What?
I was just
Anyway.
in the area. It's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. But like I
Exactly.
still-
Yeah.
just like please.
That's one of the things that you learn eventually in life anyway. I guess that's part of the school experience. Anyway, Bon was saying I'm bad at both to the fake laughing and fake crying. I guess that's another trichotomy. Which I forgot to look up. Is trichotomy an actual word? I really hope
I'm
it's it.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure it is a word, okay? I'm
Yep.
pretty sure.
Yes, it is. It is.
It would
a
be
word.
weird if it wasn't a word.
I don't know. I've never heard it being used before. I have heard
Because-
trilemma
because-
being used at one point.
Because the prefix tri is a prefix, and then there's like dichotomy.
Yes, that was my logic for coming up with it in the first place. I just, good to know someone else did too.
Two back together.
Well, I guess we have you to thank for that.
Yeah, thanks for bringing this charming of a guy back for me to save.
Yeah, your unconscious body was a great conversation starter.
So, Vivian, felt any strong auras yet?
Oh, I like their walking poses.
Not
How...
really, other than some small critters here and there.
This is true, yeah. Outside of Gacha Life 2, this is the way to go for, other than like having the repeated motions.
But don't worry, I'll be sure to tell you as soon as
In fact, actually, that's one of the techniques I pulled out in People Above. In the last scene, after Emil throws the magnet card, he walks up exactly the same pose that that Cal is doing here. My apologies to you both. Yes, walking in a much dignified manner.
I feel something in the area.
Shh. Wait. I hear something.
A Luzelian?
Is it your elbow joint snapping? Because you've dislocated.
Oh God, what happened to your elbow?
Yeah.
No, it sounds like a river. Or perhaps a spring in the distance. Come on!
Does it really? Would be sure great to have some sound effects to go along with that.
Come on.
Whoa.
Also, I'm surprised we've got like sparkle effects and such, but we don't have like snowfall when there was like a background with clearly snow still falling around them.
This spring, it's so...
Why is he touching his abdomen? Aiden hungry.
Listen, that's what I do when I'm hungry. A nuggy.
Maybe he's pregnant.
It's still clear.
I'm
isn't
also
it?
pregnant, but that I wasn't gonna reveal that till later because like I didn't want to like everyone to know because like then I have to announce all that stuff and it's like I also know the gender of the baby. I need to announce. I haven't had a chance to, I know all that. Like I just really wanted to make it all special, but I guess it's kind of ruined. Oh well.
So that's why you have the no signal camera right now?
Obviously, I don't feel like fixing it right now. Listen, it's a lot of work. Okay, it's a few buttons.
Okay. All right, let me fix this. Here is the reveal of the gender of the baby. Let's see. Oh look, blue! It's a boy!
It's a boy! I should get some legal fireworks and set it off in a forest. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Just come to Pennsylvania. I'm pretty sure fireworks are legal.
I was going to say, set it off in this forest. They're not going to care about the fire because it's going to help them. It's going to melt the snow.
But actually, fun fact: gender reveal parties have literally led to burning, led things to burning down.
Gender
I'm not
reveal
even
parties
sure.
have caused death before.
Yeah, just like
I think I saw a Curtis Connor video about this.
Just like, why do you have to make your gender reveal parties dangerous?
Why is your gender reveal party deadly? Please explain this.
You can't just do something like get some party poppers and just pop them off and you can't do that, or like you can't have everyone flip over a card or something. You have to do that. You can't.
Too much printing.
Exactly. But how? How is a spring this clean?
Well,
It's
princess,
magic.
this is the brine spring.
Oh my goodness, I just realized something. Aiden, a magician act. That's how you do it. You do it with one card, but specifically you do like this. Is this your card? Then the back of the card is just the either blue or pink. There you go.
Ooh, yes.
It's a spring with a purity enchantment, given by the rulers of the Aflaria kingdom, so that animals or other beings can be able to drink from it.
This kind of seems like the what was the name of the pond in
Wait,
it was
I got
like
a question.
Peace Valley or something in the Jungle Book, I think it was called. I'm
How
not sure.
does the purity enchantment even work though? Because for example, what if an animal lives in it and they poop? Does that poop, as soon as they poop, it instantly disappear?
Probably.
Does all the germs and bacteria on their body disappear? How will that affect the animal? Wouldn't that kill the animal if all the germs and stuff just disappear from the body?
I think that there would be a difference between harmful pathogens versus like regular like the cells that make up the entire animal.
Well, also because it most likely would not purify, say, minerals and stuff, which are sometimes considered dirty, but they are also necessary in water. Like, for example, in Pittsburgh, the water is so bad that they have to completely purify it and then re-add minerals into it.
Could do about these enchantments, certainly.
Pretty thoughtful.
Hey, perhaps we could take a break for a while.
They just need one of Poseidon's sand dollars. That's the way to clean it up. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Oh my god, I have not caught up
That
on
looks
Percy
like-
Jackson, and now I'm Two
Well,
episodes
they have a
behind?
they have a new Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus.
I think that's what Maya's talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
watch last week's
'Cause
episode, and I didn't watch Tuesday's episode.
okay, yeah, because Poseidon Sand Dollar comes in like the 5th book, so I knew that Maya had
Yeah.
read up until that point at least.
I have read that much. Thank you very much. I did read the 5th
Exactly.
book. I might have skipped the 1st book, but I read every other book.
Wait, what?
I haven't read the 6th book, but that
Oh
book came
man,
out
yeah,
last summer.
I skipped the first book. You know, the very beginning where he enters all the characters and set up the story and the world. You know,
Okay.
the
In
normal
my
skipping.
defense,
The first thing you see is Sea of Monsters. Grover's been kidnapped. Who's Grover?
Okay. In my defense, the 1st book, I was in book club in 5th grade. And it was like we had to read like 15 books, and then we would have a competition about all the book details.
Okay.
Somebody else chose to read Percy Jackson before I did. So I got all of the information out of the book because we needed it for all the trivia. But I read 3 other books. So I knew everything that happened, I just never actually read the book because I had to know all the answers to the trivia questions in 5th grade.
Maybe you should actually go back and read that book. Like, go and just read it.
I guess it wouldn't do any harm. Might be fun to read that alongside the actual series.
I mean, that could be interesting, seeing how the adaptation differs from the book, and to see if you like the changes or don't like the changes, or if there even are any changes.
Well, there are definitely changes. There are so many changes, but
wait, I'm sorry. You know the changes, but I guess because of the trivia thing, I was gonna say.
Well, yeah, because I know what happened.
Okay, yeah,
I just never read it firsthand. It was like I read the spark notes of the book. That is essentially what happened. I read my friend's 5th grade spark notes of the book. So like spark notes from a 5th grader.
All right, yeah, sure. Okay then.
But no, if I'm reading any book, I still need to read the 6th book because I really want to read that, but I haven't had time.
I haven't finished reading that either, but only because BB and I are going through the entire series for the Butter Bunch. So she hasn't posted any of the videos yet, but we got up to Titan's Curse. So I was going back through all of them. So once I get past 5 again, I'll return to 6.
I have a silly question.
Yeah.
If I'm telling people they should read this, do I tell them to read 6 as 6? Or do I tell them to read 1 through 5, 1 through 5, 1 through 3, and then 6, and the Nico Will book that I'm blanking on the name of right now?
Yeah, I think it doesn't actually matter because so far they haven't really talked about that many details. I guess outside of the fact that you probably would need to know about like Camp Jupiter vaguely because the motivation of the 6th book is that Percy is trying to get into college and that's where he's going. So I guess you need to know that there is a Roman camp, but that's kind of it, basically. Doesn't take 5 books to explain that, so yeah, why not?
True.
So there might be like a few like missing details here and there, but you're not gonna like miss out too much on the story if you don't really get that. You say like, oh yes, guy wants to go to college, must do 3 quests to do so.
That's kind of like how
has
I'm
been
considering
stolen.
reading the Will Solus book without actually having finished the Trials of Apollo.
I didn't know there was a Will Solus book.
Well, there's a Will Solus and Nico D'Angelo book. Like, there's a book about the 2 of them.
Of course there is.
I just can't remember what it's called off the top of my head.
Probably Solangelo.
No, okay, that's the name of the ship. Thank you very much.
I know it is.
But there's a book.
Which, by the way,
Sun and the Star.
By the way, we were talking about this. BB and I were talking about this on one of the videos that we did, where I was mentioning like how like Persebeth is being built up. Obviously, yeah, because why wouldn't it be? However, we decided actually that Antsy sounds way better because it feels like you're antsy for something to happen.
That's how it starts. Then
exactly,
you read the Mark of Athena.
Yes, I know that. I haven't told her about that, obviously.
I love the Mark of Athena. I have read that like 4 times.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have gone through all of Percy Jackson Olympians, apart from the 6th one, obviously. Heroes of Olympus and Trials of Apollo. BB has not. So she's going through for the first time, getting first impressions. So I'm discussing things and only mildly mentioning some stuff if like there's a direct question about it. Otherwise, I'm just pretending that I don't know anything else, but going forward.
Oh my god!
And I
In
don't.
the show, they called her Thalia. I thought her name was Talia.
Oh no, so did I. That's why I named a character after her in Siren Story, and I had my actors pronounce that way in the musical.
Yeah, I thought
Just
her
not
name
gonna
was
address that.
Talia, not Thalia.
I like Talia more. Talia. It reminds me of Talia al Ghul from DC.
I think
Yes,
it is spelled the same way as well.
it is not.
Oh,
It is
Never mind.
not spelled the same way, but it does.
okay.
Plus, Talia just sounds like a cool name. You know,
It
like
really
I
does.
imagine like a really like someone who's like kind of like super kick butt. You know, like that kind of vibe from the name.
That is accurate.
Mhm.
I named a bird. My friend showed me this app. It's called Finch, and you get a bird pet, and I named the bird Artemis.
I thought you were going to say
Which-
name the bird. I thought you meant to name the bird Talia.
No, but I named the bird Artemis, which is what Thalia makes me. Sorry, Thalia. Fudge.
Can you imagine that was like that was Zeus's gift. Instead of a tree, it was a bird. So it's just like circling Camp Half-Blood permanently, just creating a barrier.
Well, that's kind of what. Hold up. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet because I'm having thoughts. I'm like, wait, have we all read not Trials of Apollo? Series 2 of the 5-book.
Heroes
I
of
don't know,
Olympus.
the Camp Roman book.
Heroes of Olympus.
Yes. I was like, I know it's
I have.
HOO with the lowercase o.
Yeah. Whoo.
Yeah. But I'm like
Sheesh.
blanking right now. Okay, but like it reminds me of when Argus 2 would just be like Argus? No.
The Argo 2 is what you're trying to
Argo,
say.
yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking DC now as well because there's Argus in DC.
There's Argus in Camp Half-Blood as well.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's the guy with 100 eyes.
I forgot about him. No, but like I'm picturing the Argo 2 that's just like circling camp because they were like, well, what do we do with this now?
The mist just like shows like a gigantic blimp. They're not secret anymore. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Like a good spot to rest. Let's take a break there.
See, I told you the Lozelians always find them. They don't need to look for them.
Although I don't think they can really speak.
Doesn't matter if they can't speak. They're right there. You can see them right there.
I know, but if you need to find their base of operations,
Well, yeah. Conversation is not the way people normally find others. It's not like you can if you hear someone talking far in a distance. That's not people tend to track others down most of the time.
Got your eye, Cal?
If you're a werewolf,
Everything
maybe.
Yeah, although we haven't seen any werewolves in this series
is so
or
alluring.
video movie.
But we have
I'm still-
vampires.
We do.
Really fascinated that I got to see all of this beauty.
Well, enjoy it while it lasts, princess.
Yeah, because we're supposed to try and get rid of the snow that's surrounding the place. So yeah, hopefully this won't last long.
I
wait,
definitely
what if they
will.
broke the curse, but now all snow, it never snows ever again? How ironic
That'd
would
be
that
so
be?
sad.
Be like, oh,
I
I guess we
suppose.
killed the snow.
Actually,
Which makes
if it never snowed again, that'd be amazing.
They just get hail instead. It just makes it worse.
me want to ask, do you mind if I just go and explore a bit?
I really don't think.
Actually, yeah, you can. It would definitely brighten your experience. Just make sure to stick around the area so you don't get lost and be careful.
If I were Aiden right, I'd be like standing up and like vehemently shaking my head. Because like I mean, as far as he's concerned, the 2 times that she's been on her own, she's either been attacked by Lozelians or passed out.
Careful.
It's like, girl, you
Got
keep
it.
almost
I need to-
dying. Please
Yeah.
stop.
Get too long. See you both in a bit.
Why did you have to put a spell on me?
I put a spell on you, and now. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Interrupt me. And I wanted to talk to you. alone.
I love
What could be
you.
so
Yeah, what-
Callista go alone in these woods?
Yeah, exactly. What's the important topic of conversation that she can't hear it, and she's better off risking her life alone rather than like covering her ears?
You know that her
She's
father is
just
censored
like,
her-
I need to tell you about my period. It's like,
Actually,
just like,
First-
why couldn't you be here for that? It's like,
I was gonna say, first of all, wouldn't
because I'm not
Callista know
having
more
it
about
anymore.
that?
I'm not having it anymore.
Oh, I see.
It's just like, oh my god, what?
hmm
Are we making menopause jokes now?
No, I think
I
what
was
Aiden's
making
saying
a
is because
pregnancy
Vivi-
joke.
Yeah.
It was specifically pregnancy. Opposite thing.
Then again,
Oopsies.
I'll be shocked if vampires even got periods. To be honest,
I don't know. I don't think vampires.
But how do vampires reproduce? Like the infection technique?
They turn people. They're like
Yeah,
zombies in that
okay, so the
regard. They just
infection
turn
technique.
people.
as far as they're concerned, that's what replicating their species is like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So why
with-
not make Aiden a vampire?
Well,
In the-
I don't know. Maybe he
because
doesn't
she
want to be a
doesn't-
vampire.
Yeah. She's got no. I guess she doesn't really feel like it. I mean, here's the thing: if we're talking about like, if clearly Vivian is not like the typical like soulless evil vampire that you would think of, especially because she's only half vampire anyway. But from what we can tell, they've got enough self-control and autonomy to just go against those instincts.
That a scratch.
If
I
they
just let her
can't
run
get pregnant, how do you make half vampires?
That's what? That's actually a very good point. You start biting someone and then stop halfway, or you chip you
No,
chip
you see-
one
You got
chip
one tooth?
tooth. Yeah.
No. Here's the thing. No, they see
It's
vampires.
just one
actually,
mark on her neck.
You see, vampires actually have venom. And like they put the venom in people, obviously.
Yes,
If you
but
know
you've
what
got
I
one
mean.
tooth to put the venom through. I know you're trying to make a Twilight joke here, but the setup does not support the punchline.
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know.
know what you're
Maybe it's
referencing.
like a curse situation where it's like she was cursed to become part vampire. Or maybe this happens in media sometimes when it comes to very specifically vampires, where sometimes like a vampire will be able to suck out like venoms or toxins out of people if they've been bit by another vampire. So maybe someone tried sucking out the venom or toxin after she was bit, but instead of making her a pure vampire, only with the little bit of venom left in her, or the little bit of venom that didn't get out in time, turned her into a half vampire, which is partway through.
I think I've worked it out. I've got a different theory. So if they do actually reproduce normally, however, because vampires also sustain themselves off of blood, perhaps instead, because periods are caused by like the breaking down of like the uteral wall. So if they just break it down, instead of being expelled outwards, it just gets recycled because it's the extra blood that it's being used. So that's why they don't show that. So you still get the pain, just not the mess from it. Maybe that's how.
Or maybe she's somehow drunk. Maybe something vampires excreted, which made her a part vampire, but not full vampire. Like by that I mean like maybe whatever vampires have instead of blood. Like if they get
I was gonna say, because we're talking about like bodily excretions, that can go in a number of directions.
No,
none
not
of
like
which I
that.
want to talk about in this video.
Yeah, none of that. No, but I mean like vampire blood or like vampire, I don't know, bodily, some sort of
That's
like.
exactly what I was asking here.
Not
but
that.
yeah.
Like by that I mean like gut juice. God,
Okay.
gut
Spinal
juice.
fluid.
Stomach acid?
Yes, I don't know. Listen, I'm trying not to say anything
That
inappropriate.
raises
Okay?
a number of questions as well. How do you get stomach acid from a vampire?
I don't know. Maybe you like maybe get a needle and like. I don't know. You could gut a vampire. It may not kill them, but it will gut
Why
them.
would you want?
I don't know.
She's got a wooden stake in front of her. She like hands it in, but misses, enters the stomach instead. Okay, sure.
Listen.
into danger.
I don't know.
But if you refrain her from these things, she'll think something's up and will eventually begin to ask questions.
Isn't she already asking questions?
Yeah, she knows there's an entire curse across the rest of the world. I think she's used to something being up.
Doesn't matter. What matters is that she's vulnerable, V. She has no powers, and she's royalty for crying out loud.
I mean, she used the Force. What
Exactly.
do you mean? She has powers, technically. She
About
used the
that-
Force.
About that known powers thing,
if
yeah.
something happens to her, then I'm gonna be the one responsible.
Okay.
I'm going after her.
Yeah.
Vivian.
Aiden.
Oh, finally, someone who sounds appropriately angry in this movie. Only took until halfway through the running time.
Trust me.
I don't.
But I do like how it's like it's especially the cliche of like being held back is like seriously let go. I need to go. I can be in a rush a lot of the time. I get like, called by somebody behind me, and I was like, okay, fine, tell me what it is quickly. Come on.
You still sense her aura?
No doubt about it.
Okay, how about you at least watch her from a
Alright.
tree? Jeez. Well, that's the least you could do.
That is fair. Yeah, just jump, just hold on to Aiden, jump up into a tree, and have a conversation there.
So what did you want to talk to me about?
I'm
Your
pregnant.
powers. You wanted to rest so you can regain your strength back, right?
I told you I'll be
So?
alright. If this helps in Calissa's mission and her returning back to her kingdom safely, then I'm willing to do anything for it.
Even die.
Just because Calissa is willing to risk her life for this doesn't mean you should too.
I can make that decision for myself, thank you.
So what? You're saying I should just disobey the king and let Calissa fall into fatal risk? I'm not
Or you know, also not help save the world.
doing this because I have to, Vivian. I'm doing this because I want to. I want Calissa to live and have a future. Even if I'm not a part of it.
Even if she has to marry someone she
Stop.
doesn't love.
Yeah.
Thinking so half-heartedly.
Stop it! You're not going to die. Psst. No harm is going to come to you. Psst.
Even if you do end up having the final blow, you're just going to let her blame herself for bringing you along. And she's
Well, I
going to
mean, if it's
regret
his
this
choice,
for-
okay, I've said this before. Everyone makes choices, and those choices lead to what happens. You can't. It inadvertently you're infantilizing or taking away agency from the person if you assume, oh well, you know, it wasn't there. Well, you know, it was my choice. Like, no, it was equally their choice, unless
Rest of
you
her
forced
life.
it completely. But I mean, if they allowed it, you know, it's your choice.
This is why I thought she was secretly older, because she's like the mother archetype almost.
Is that really how you want her future to take place?
Don't think that you're bringing up a point when you've done the exact same thing to Xavian.
Who?
I think that's the name of her brother. We never found out before.
Vivian,
What does he have to do with this?
The Edge. Helen
I-
Mort got angry. I'm calling her Helen, even though she's not Helen.
Yes.
I mean,
Why
well,
would
Helen
you
Mort
for-
is a demigod, which is like, and she's a half vampire, so they're both half something.
Okay. I said yes, that's true.
Give him. I mean, it's already been years since the incident happened, and I really
The
think we should get
incident.
over it.
You expect me to get over it? Aiden, you weren't there when it happened. My parents were dying, and you know what Xavian did? He left. Why? 'Cause he believed there was a string of hope.
And yet here you are on this mission.
What
I
are you-
mean, you know, maybe he could have found a cure. I mean, he didn't, but you know, he could have found one.
Yeah, unless they were implying that the string of hope was the hope that she would survive whatever afflicted them. Because we don't know what happened there. And I mentioned this before, that I like how this being like built up to. So clearly it was the brother that I thought it was before, because in that previous conversation, the thing I mentioned I liked was the fact that we don't know, they don't speak out loud about what the incident was, because they both know what happened, even if we the audience don't, so we find out in a much more organic way as the movie continues.
Well, you see,
Talking
as
about-
you know, my brother left. As you know.
I conducted a raid on the Great Library, which most said didn't exist.
Haven't you noticed yet? Calissa's whole mission is her going on just for a string of hope. And she's even willing to risk her life for it.
Well, yeah,
Unlike
she's a Disney
her,
princess. She
Xa-
wants more of this provincial life or whatever.
Exactly.
Xavian wasn't risking his life. He left for what? The the position of a superior so he could get restoration after my parents died minutes ago?
Didn't you also just say that you want to go for a superior position yourself in order to help with this? Or I guess maybe not. Maybe she said she would have to have that in order to be able to
Yeah.
track down those aliens much more easily. Again, unnecessary. They're going to find her anyway.
And how would you know what he faced? You haven't even talked to him since the incident. V, I know
I don't want to hear it.
I mean, I'm just saying, I wouldn't repeat
Dang.
the just scripting in general. I wouldn't repeat the term "the incident" every time. It would be like "since it happened" or since it happened." You know, like have it. Like I would have them say the incident at first, but then as time went on, they're just like, "Listen, you haven't talked to since all of that went down," or something. You know, like kind of vary up your phrasing instead of repeating the incident several different times.
True. That is what pronouns were made for.
Jacob
died.
Jacob froze. Oh no. Okay, so now that Jacob's dead, I crown myself king of of England and the UK as a whole. I own it, and yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. No one. Now Jacob isn't around to stop me from taking over England.
So I'm
Listen,
doing my
I'm gonna
physics homework.
listen. I'm gonna colonize the colonizer.
Okay, so I'm doing my physics homework, and I'm kind of like, what is wrong with these problems? Because it goes problem number 2, problem number 3, problem number 5, problem number 1, number 1, number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, you see, the teacher probably took those answers, took them off of Kahoot, but forgot to renumber them.
I'm like, I thought my teacher knew how to count. But
No,
we go 2, 3, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
they're probably off of Kahoot. Google one of them. Google the exact wording of one, and I'm sure you'll find a Kahoot, or find some Kahoots on them.
Found a YouTube video, maybe.
Trust me, try Kahoot. Teachers don't always like to, make up their
Nah,
own
this is the same
questions.
thing. Yeah, the pictures are different. That's your all I need. Nah, these are like I've Googled some of them. They're pretty original. I think it's just funny because like it's probably he reuses some of his problems, I'm pretty sure, from previous years.
Oh.
And he's restructured like where everything goes. So I think that he just moved it from a different section maybe of the course. Because they're all like individual problems on this site that we use. It's called Top Hat. I don't know if you use it.
No, I don't use Top Hat. I've never used it before.
It's so weird. I have like homework due and stuff, and I'm like, it still hasn't registered that the semester started.
Oof.
Oh. On the next homework, you know what the problem numbers are?
5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 1.
2, 1, 1, 1.
Yes.
I'm
yes.
like, what?
Well, you see, I don't know. Just like, well, dang.
Well, Jacob's gone. I'm gonna take this opportunity to run to the bathroom.
I mean, valid, but I'll just sit here talking. So, chat, now that Jacob's dead currently, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Chat, what are you up to? Tell me about your lives. Or something. I don't know. Jacob, why you have to crash for so long? Why can't you just not crash? Is it that hard not to? God. Oh god. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon in Scarlet. The DLC is fun. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. You know, fun times. I'm just scaling up a mountain on my giant legendary Pokemon. Using the powers of a god. Mwahaha. Well, maybe you have like writer's block or something. I mean, sometimes I get really frustrated writing where like I don't know what I want to do, or it's like I don't feel like writing a certain thing. Because what I normally do in those cases is normally I end up doing something else. Like I'm like, okay, how about instead of writing this, I will write something else. So that's my advice, KW. Like I would either write something else or do something else and just take a break from it and then come back to it when you get inspiration and like new ideas. Because sometimes you just need a little break from something to, you know, get re hyped into it.
That's how I tend to write literally everything. That goes for books, series, anything. Okay. So hopefully I'm back. It seems that Maya's disappeared.
She went to the bathroom.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Ruined my pronoun.
You just
Twitter
died.
joke.
I know, right? You said pronouns then died.
Yeah, I was saying that was what they're saying, that, you know, instead of saying the incident, to say like it and whatever, they said that's what pronouns were for. I was going to say that as that's what pronouns are made for, despite whatever Twitter will tell you, and that was the whole joke. But anyway,
yeah.
Well, I guess it's fortunate enough that I decide to rewind in this way, because again, I got like half of the dragging power this time. All right, everyone's back, and we're all upside down from where we used to be. Let's go.
Peaceful, you say? The only way you'll ever find peace is when you learn to forgive someone.
Xavian doesn't
Forgive
deserve
everyone,
to be
okay?
forgiven. What happened was
Sometimes people just don't deserve forgiveness. And that's okay. That's
In this case, the last family she's got left made a mistake. I think in this situation, he definitely, you know, forgiveness would be ideal. At least talking things
different
through.
than you think. He was able to fulfill his wish, but he never fulfilled theirs.
Oh, and you think you did? Let me remind you, their dying wish was to see you both together for the last time. You alone isn't what fulfilled it. I'm heading to where Calissa is.
Never thought that one, did you?
That's
Let's see
awful.
if the princess forgives you when she finds out the truth about your contract.
I mean, it's not really that big of a deal.
It would be a real shame if someone were to let that slip in a later scene.
But here's the thing, it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah, her father may have sent him to protect her, but it's not. But honestly,
The reason it's a big deal is because it wasn't disclosed at any point, and they've become extremely close over the past few days. The part of the why she sent out was to prove herself, which again was not a good enough motivation. Just, you know, like the saving the world is the real reason. But like again, she wanted to prove herself to her father and to say do something alone, and the father went behind her back. So a lot of anger will come from that. Lie revealed story.
Well, I mean, it could have been worse. The father could have sent him literally after her to bring her back.
This is also true.
Are you out
like,
there?
At least that shows the father has some level of faith in her, or like, or realizes that isn't gonna help her, at the end of the day.
Well, it's a lesson that he's got to learn.
Calissa!
Well,
I may.
Wow, I'd love to like.
Oh
again,
yes,
no
yeah. Oh man,
all these these five rogues just snuck up. Yeah, of course.
May or may not have explored a little too far.
Yeah, like listen, okay, and the vampire girl was like, "Oh, she can handle it." She literally walked away for 5 minutes, and now she's having a bunch of people pointing spears at her.
Much like Much like the Guardians, the rest of this plot will happen because Melissa decided to take a walk, and the others let her happen.
Great.
Ah,
You-
God.
Did you just slice his sword
Who
holster?
else were coming with us?
Are you alright? You seem to be a little tense, and anxious, even.
Oh no! What me? No, I get
No.
held at spear point every day. I'm perfectly calm.
Yeah, I'm alright, but are you injured anywhere?
Oh no,
Wow.
I'm fine. Don't worry. I had wandered a little too far into their territory, and
I just realized. Look at that! The animation rig on her hair. Her ear is moving in time with the
just
hair.
got thrown before we left.
Ugh,
No
ugh.
injuries whatsoever.
That's good.
I look away for 5 minutes, Vivian. Yeah, stick to the trees. That's what you should do.
Oh, by the way, where's Vivian? I didn't see her with you.
She's around. She just wasn't captured like the both of us.
Ah,
Yeah, what a good idea. Discuss this openly. If you have another friend somewhere, definitely your captors will not find that information useful in the slightest.
I hope we get the queen or her sister's favor here.
Have you all
I don't
met
know.
before?
I mean, if they feel the need to hold you at Spirit Point, I don't think they're immediately gonna be like, "Oh, sure, we'll help you." I mean,
Well, I think this is more the case of the queen and the sister rather than these specific rogues.
Yeah, but it was some time ago. It was a grand event for royals or rulers of each kingdom to be present. I've also met the queen's sister during that event, so...
Hold on. If there was a gathering for all the royals and rulers to event, it was such an important thing. How come she never met Prince Espia before this? Because he would have been alive around that time.
Makes sense.
Maybe you didn't go.
well, they met once when they were kids. Remember?
Honestly, no, because the prince didn't seem to have have met her before, because he seemed to introduce himself like for the first time.
Well, yeah.
The King Darius and King Nicholas, King Darius mentioned that he'd seen her previously and she's grown to a fine young woman. Didn't say the son was there.
No, she did. At one point, they did mention that she has met before. It's just the thing was, they were both very young, so it's like, when you like meet a little kid briefly, but you don't know them because when you're like 4 or 5 or whatever, like, oh yeah, I remember you.
Yeah.
I have a great memory of you, and because like because by the time you get into by the time you're like a late teenager or adult, let's be honest, you're a completely different person than you were when you were a small child.
That's actually not the reason. The reason is a scientific thing. It's called childhood amnesia. It like gets rid of your basic memories from childhood and then replaces them. That's why you can recall like up to a certain point and then it's like a blank. That's what happens.
But Aphmau can remember. No,
What
wait.
about Aphmau?
But Garth can remember Aphmau as a kid.
Gareth can remember a visual of a girl in a red dress they used to play with. That's it.
Yeah, that's not really remembering Aphmau. That's just remembering he once knew someone who he had multiple play with because his mom was friends. Their mom were friends.
Mhm.
That's all you know.
Yeah. I can remember teaching an entire class how to play red light, green light, brown light in between the breaks of playing T-ball in elementary school. Doesn't mean I remember the friends' names. I see 2 of them, Jonathan, Madison. Most of the others. Not gonna. Okay, I'm an exception. Okay, I've been known to have like a great long-term memory, but it's non-selective. That's the kind of thing. Because Jonathan and Madison were also, I also met them like outside of school as well. We used to have like sleepovers and hangouts and whatever.
Hi, May. We found these individuals lurking around within our grounds, and I thought that perhaps they might have some business here.
I see.
Or wait, so that's what you think? Like when someone has some business here, you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna point a spear at you." Not, I think they're invading our.
Perhaps they had some business, but I didn't think to ask them.
Yeah, but like also like, is that how you treat everyone who has business with you? Hey, let me immediately hold you at spear point. Like normally, in this kind of situation, I would assume that you're like, oh, I think you're like some sort of spy, or you're here to try to sneak into the castle, or like trying to do something nefarious. Not, oh, they may or may not want to do something here. I don't know.
It's got to be some sneaky business. Absolutely.
Like
Also,
some no good business, not some neutral business, or not some potential good business. Because like I don't normally
Also,
hold people at spear or gunpoint or knife point or whatever. If I'm like, oh yeah, you totally seem friendly, you're not gonna try to do anything to me. Like no, I'm gonna be like, okay, what do you want? Like dang.
of course, yeah. I mean, they all speak the common tongue, it seems.
The
But
common
yeah,
tongue, the universal language, English.
English, yes.
Everyone across the whole galaxy speaks English. Everyone across the world speaks English.
That's the one Team 4-star joke that you know. Fun fact, in Star Wars, English is actually called Galactic Basic.
English is
Yeah.
not a basic language. Listen, English is very contextual. English is very complicated.
In the context of the galaxy, it's basic. It could be basic in comparison to every other language.
I hope not, because English is already complicated enough. Imagine getting more complicated than English itself.
I don't know. Ask Jabba, or Sebulba, or Greedo.
I feel like I honestly kind of feel like when people try to make alien languages, they just go this is my. It's just like, yeah, see,
in universe, Aiden.
Yeah.
Not
like,
everyone is Tolkien.
I always found that where it's like, why
That being
that's not
said,
even a
Tolkien in
language.
space would
Those
be
aren't
vocal.
even words. You're just doing sounds. You gotta have a consistent sound or different words. You know, there gotta be some sort of consistency. Now it sounds like you're just making up sounds. And clearly, sometimes when someone's translating it, it's like direct translations. Like, oh yeah, they say that you have intruded. Who are you, intruders? But some of the gibberish doesn't line up, so it's like, it's not consistent.
Okay,
Like
okay.
similar
But if
words.
everybody in
okay,
the galaxy spoke the same language, we would have no need for xenolinguistics, which would be awful because
Xenolistic.
Xenolinguistics.
yeah.
And either way, that'd be a huge coincidence if everyone spoke the same way. Not only that, but also they wouldn't have all the vocal cords for it. I go back to the example of Chewbacca from earlier.
Yeah, no, I just bring it up because, like, and I feel like when people construct a fictional language, they just have them make a bunch of mumbling, grunting noises, and then be like, "See, that's another language, guys." It's just like, what? There's no consistency with the grunts or something. There's no, like, they're allegedly saying similar
The key
words.
to doing that is the key to doing that is the tone. Is the tone of the grunts and as a grumbles. Because if you are just saying the gibberish without any variation, that is one thing. But if you can tell what someone is actually saying, the trick to doing that effectively actually is to visualize what you're trying to say in whichever language you speak, and then just like do a gobbledygook version. Yeah. Otherwise, again, we'd all have to be space Tolkien.
You are dismissed. Tell me, what is your purpose here?
Tell me why.
Sis, I finally did it. I was able to give life to this rose. See?
Good job, Ophelia. I'm so
We're having queenly duties here. Excuse me.
Yeah, hold on. Give life as in like plant the seed and water it, or give life by magic, because again, the royals banish the wielders.
I think it's magic. I think we're referring to magic. Also, by the way, I like the fact that if you look at the background, there's literally photographs of the characters, or like the queen and the princess.
Yeah, at one point, the queen actually like adopted the same pose as was in the photo. I always love that cliche. I know it's so dumb, but it's a fun one.
Proud of you.
I'm so glad. Oh, my bad. I didn't realize you were busy.
Yeah, I didn't look straight ahead of me, much like Aiden's father.
Kalissa?
Hey, Fee.
I guess her species is not going through childhood amnesia.
I can't believe you're here.
Princess Kalissa? Is that truly you? Wow.
No, I'm a clone. What do you think?
Much. I barely recognized you.
I believe my attire did make quite a difference.
What? You're not wearing a dress, but you styled your hair pretty much the same, therefore you're...
Do we know that she styled her hair the same as when she was a child?
I mean, I don't know if we did, but like, dang. But like, I thought they were referring to her outfit.
No, they're referring to her as a whole, and she specified that her outfit helped with that. Not that it was the entire cause.
Be heading towards a different path, but we just so happened to stumble upon Brine Spring in your kingdom by accident.
And by accident, I mean that 5 of your rogues pointed spears at us and didn't ask any questions.
Ah, but what would you be doing all the way out here? Especially in this weather.
We're trying to break the curse to stop this weather, you see.
Yeah, see, this guy behind me can fire a laser at the sky and blast away the weather, so we thought that would really help things.
Winter. It may sound a little far-fetched, but I have a friend here who decided to accompany me. Your Highness, Fee, meet Aiden.
It is an honor to be at your presence, Your Highness.
The honor is ours, Aiden. Now come. If you don't mind, let's continue the rest of this in the lounge room. The staff will prepare some light snacks.
Food.
I must say, the food here is quite exquisite, Your Highness.
Do they
Sure,
not
be nice
eat?
to see some of it.
I was like, do they?
Agreed. The last time I've tasted your delicacies was during the grand event years ago.
Yeah,
The
we
volume
know
just
that.
changed?
Yeah. Does she think that she's like tasted like exported food cooked by like from inside the royal palace? Is that how that works?
I'm glad you both enjoyed it. It was made by one of our best skilled chefs in the kingdom.
As well as the best personality.
Interesting.
Ophelia tends to interact with our staff around here, so don't be surprised if she ends up knowing what their middle names are.
Plot twist: Athena's they've got a thing going with the chef. That's why she's like,
Listen.
what a great personality the chef has.
Listen. That's why she always gets the best food. Like, the chef makes sure he puts on extra spices for her because he knows exactly what she likes.
Mm-hmm.
Quite typical of her.
So, Calissa, about your quest on this frost, what's your objective?
Yeah, where exactly are you going?
Well, I
Well,
plan to
I
solve
mean,
this
wait.
frost somehow.
Here's the thing: the term "objective" here, wait. I mean, I don't. Shouldn't be there because with this whole frost? What's your objective to stop the frost?
Yeah.
With some
That's
help
normally
by
what
entering the
objective is.
Luzalian's territory and figuring out things from there. Since it seems as though they're connected to this frost, perhaps the answers are all within them.
Calissa, you know it
Maybe if
isn't
we got
easy
one of
as-
them, we'll get to see their insights and see the answer.
What's it with you and gutting things here? That's the second reference to gutting something that you've made today.
I have made several references to stuff.
What is gussing?
Okay. Gutting.
Gutting.
that. Yes, the answers may lie within them, but walking head onto their territory is
Yeah, the answers may lie within them and not literally, just in case anyone gets any ideas.
a disagreeable method. In addition to that, their territory is one of the hardest territories to find.
I am aware of the difficulty and the dangers, Your Highness.
I'm here to get one of the most prized possessions of the kingdom, a map. Can we just get a map so I have some hope of finding it?
I'm sure we'd be able to find it somehow. And I'm willing to take this chance, just so the future generations
To
will be
defeat
able to live in peace.
the Hunts.
That's not... That you have to say business for that to work. You keep doing punchlines without the setup.
I don't need a setup. That punchline is
Oh,
the fact that I did a joke.
Green moss? See, it doesn't work.
I agree with Big Sis.
What
You
is
could get
green
killed,
moss?
Kalisa.
It was the punchline to a joke I didn't set up.
You shouldn't continue to do this. Even if you don't go, there's still a chance that the future generations would be able to withstand this too.
I don't think our
This
current
is-
generation will be able to withstand this.
I was going to say, this just sounds like global warming in reverse. The future generation can work that one out. We'll just keep warming up the
They'll
planet.
figure it out eventually, probably. You know, I mean, hey, I'm gonna die in like 20 or 30 years, so you know, I'm not too concerned about it. Just like,
Exactly.
okay, cool, but like, I'm not.
Dangerous-
So why are you?
Dangerous line of thought.
Like, that's not the point. It's like, well, you know, I don't care.
Yeah, I once wrote a book that was global warming in reverse. Actually, it was global freezing. That to save the planet from the brink of the collapse on an ecological level.
I appreciate your
The
concern,
second ice
but
age.
You can't prove to me if they can be.
I mean, they didn't really have a first one because it was a different planet, but yes.
able
Oh,
to withstand it.
yeah.
For all we know, they might not even last because of the lack of history embedded in them.
Okay,
So,
guys.
Your
This is really interesting,
What?
but I kind of gotta go make some calls because I have, like, not told my aunt that I'm coming over this weekend.
Okay, you
And
go
she
do
just got off
that.
of work.
Do what you gotta do.
Thanks.
Alright.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
How in the world do I leave?
saying that you are willing to risk
Click leave.
Yeah.
Click
or
leave
close
in
the tab.
in the left-hand corner.
You've been on Restream before, anyway.
your own life to save the future generations who lack the knowledge about this frost and give them the freedom to live without knowing what you did?
That is exactly what I just said. Thank you for repeating that. And propose future generations for the millionth time.
If you so happen to fail, what changes will it bring to the people?
Nothing.
it
Well,
yourself.
actually, technically, things will just keep going the way they are. So therefore,
I love how everyone in this story, apart from the main characters, has been like, well, if you fail, it won't change anything, so might as well not try.
it's just like
This
that's
is
not the
what caused
point.
the
No,
musical in the first place. The
the
royals being
point. The point is I'm going to break this curse. That's the point. I mean, and if I fail, then nothing changes. But at least I tried because I care and I don't want everyone to freeze to death or future generations to have to deal with this curse forever.
You could
Like,
argue that the royals from back in the day, well, that's what she just mentioned right now, Aiden. But if you go to the royals back in the day, banishing the wielders was their attempt at something that they knew could very much fail. They didn't know, like banishing the wielders is not going to like get rid of wielders forever. They gave it a try anyway, and clearly, thanks to as we know from like Aiden's family still existing, they didn't do it forever.
They
they
lack
give
the
it.
story
They gave
of
it a
history
shot. Gave it a
They did.
shot. Gave
Yep.
it a shot.
within themselves. So, there is no point in you saving them, Kalissa.
If
Oh,
I may,
people are
Your
horrible.
Highness.
Therefore, there's no point in saving them. By the way, it's like, okay, I don't like people, but I also want people to not die. So you know.
She must be an awful queen if she thinks people don't matter like that.
Kalissa's objective may not be
Plus,
suitable to you.
plus, like,
but
isn't that like selfish to be like, oh, people are this person's horrible, therefore you shouldn't
That was
be.
what I
you
was implying. Yes.
as of now, the
Like,
people are
okay,
realizing the history repeats itself. They too will soon realize about the curse that started, along with the fact that the occurrence of this frost coming unexpectedly. Given the situation that we're in now, there's a chance that this frost could last forever. For all we know, we could be the last generation standing.
I'm still standing
You
higher
aren't
than I
ready to
ever
go down
did.
with this, are you?
I'm just as stubborn.
I mean, really, you didn't have to end up here in the first place. We could have just gone. Is she going to try like forbid them from going through the quest? But anyway,
There's something else you both need to know that could help you into stopping this frost. We're not quite sure if this is the case, but you both know that sometimes there could be a second or much more powerful boss, right?
Definitely. I've read a lot of those in some of the books I've read. But what does it have to do with this winter?
yes, I read about more powerful bosses in my favorite series, the the Legend of Zelda. It's the book series in this world.
Well, since the Luzelions are connected to this winter somehow, it's likely to assume that they are serving someone or something.
But Luzelians don't have a master to serve. They act willingly according to their will.
Willingly according to their will. You want to run that sentence by me again?
They act accordingly to their own will. There, I fixed your sentence.
Right, let's walk forward in a forward direction.
That's true, but if you think about it, they haven't been acting according to their will, now have they?
What do you mean?
What makes you say that? You've been here the whole time.
In what way? What way have they
What
not
do
been
you
acting
know?
according to their will? Like, excuse me, according to in what way? What? Like, it's not like they've did anything that's suspicious. Like, for example, if there's not been a moment where they were about to kill the princess, but then they were like, you know what, I'm not going to kill the princess, and then just left after being like, oh yeah, we were told not to kill the princess. Like, I don't think there's a moment like that to be like, oh yeah, not doing it according to their own will, you know, because that would be someone else telling them what to do.
Yeah. Also, if you want this to like work effectively, we should have like been able to see like what they were like if they weren't acting out, willingly from their own will or whatever you want to say.
Like, for example, maybe them traveling in packs is because they had an order, and normally it's stated that they don't normally travel in packs. That's a decent deductive reasoning from the situation.
Here's an example that I didn't think I was ever going to bring up: Goblin Slayer. Haven't seen the actual anime, but I've seen the abridged one multiple times, and this is a thing that they carried over from there. But where at one point they get called over to this town called Watertown to get rid of some goblins, as you do. And
Yes.
and while they're there, the goblins that they end up seeing, because this is a few episodes down the line, that they see that they're actually like they've acquired like ships, and they have like pirate themes and etc. And they also have a mirror which they teleport through and such. Goblins, as we knew them from the series, could not come up with that on their own. We know about the goblin behavior because by this point they've been slaying them for some time, and Goblin Slayer is an expert, so he's be able to inform that to other people. So that's what gave away that someone was actually teaching them, and that there's actually far more powerful rogues that would get the villains that were around beforehand that were wiped out, and that's why it was suspicious the goblins were still there. They find out the Swordman was terrified of goblins for a reason. But that wouldn't have been possible without those earlier episodes to establish what goblins were like under normal circumstances, much more primal, much more feral. Here, we don't have that comparison. Partly because it's a movie, but also, again, because there's like one scene of a flashback of, I guess, maybe, the young Aiden scene from earlier, but that wasn't really enough anything. That was one Lozelian that acted in the same way that we saw the other ones act before the winter thing came along in the first place. So as far as we're concerned, no difference.
They'd attack almost any being in their way when they're meant to be somewhat docile.
Yeah, child Aiden would disagree with that sentiment.
So, you're saying that when this frost started, the Luzelians suddenly had a leader they would serve, and this particular leader is controlling them?
Not really. More like the Lozelians acquired a leader, and then the frost started.
Bingo!
Or not. Okay, we're going with the stupid answer.
But why would they suddenly want to have a leader as soon as the curse started? And why did they want anything to do with this?
Why do you assume it was as soon as the curse started? It could have been like they were recruited first and then the curse. If this is still connected, if the curse is connected to them, maybe part of their essence was used in order to create it or bring it forward or anything. My favorite book series is called Dark Souls. Has many unique bosses. The Ginger Queen. That sounds like the name of like Princess Bubblegum's distant relative or something. The Ginger Queen.
It doesn't seem to add up.
In this situation, it's more like the leader wants to.
Why is the Queen only coming? Speaking of the Ginger Queen, why is she only coming through one side of my headphones? That audio seems like it was balanced weirdly.
Have them. And I believe the reason to this is so that the people would only believe that their enemies are the Luzelians, forgetting that the curse was started by a wielder.
Oh, and Lazalians can be easily controlled by magic.
Lesbians?
Be it a magic.
Lazalians. As in
Lesbians?
As in Lozelians.
Oh.
This is starting to explain a lot. I'm thinking from, the lack of shouting at any point, the monotone delivery from everyone, and the blatant mispronunciations from different actors, that the direction on this was virtually non-existent. Like, all the focus went into the animation, and the production of the visuals, which I can see, but you gotta focus on some of that other stuff too. What you hear is just as important as what you can see.
Magic bearer, wielder, or any being that possesses magical abilities. The only thing is, they have to be highly superior and skilled to be able to control these creatures.
Yeah, or they just have to sing like a good old villain song. I know that your powers of perception are as weak as a warthog's backside. I don't. That's not.
Oh, it would be so cool if this was actually like a full-on movie musical, though.
So prepare for the coup of the century. Be prepared for the murkiest scam.
If that's the case, then why haven't you tried to dominate over their leader's control with yours?
Listen, they're submissive. They're not dominant. God.
Yeah, and also because if we fail, it would have made no difference. So why
Yeah.
even bother?
You know,
With all
like,
due
I mean,
respect.
you know, it doesn't matter if whatever we do, so, you know, we might as well not, I mean, there's a high chance it doesn't matter what we do, so it's like, whatever, we don't try. Who cares?
Mhm.
Because, you know, just saying, this is like the whole, remember that Buffy scene in season 5 where she was talking to the council, where it's like people keep telling Buffy that she has no powers, or like she has no power of the situation, there's nothing she could do. It's
Yeah.
like, is that true though? Or you're just saying that to try to get her to give up? You know.
Buffy walked so Miles Morales could run.
Exactly.
Well, like I've mentioned, this is nothing more than an assumption. We don't know for sure whether our theory is actually right. And even if it was, we still wouldn't know how powerful the mage on the other end is.
So, if we're not mistaken, a being that possesses magic which is highly superior and skilled is controlling the Lizelians to basically put the blame on them for the...
Superior. That actually raises a good question, because that could mean a superior vampire in this case. 'cause
Maybe
like
it's the brother. You know, he was mentioned earlier. Maybe it's him.
If he ended up acquiring his superior powers, which I guess it was confirmed that he did, maybe. Although it seems like that would kind of like undercut the whole forgiveness arc that Vivian's supposed to go through.
Forgive him. He tried to kill us all, but you should forgive him anyways. Like, no.
Yeah,
I don't want to forgive him.
The big twist is that it was actually like there was actually like the Xavier the whole time, and then like there goes through like the whole villain monologue, and then Vivian like emerges and is like, Xavier, I decided to track you down. I decided to forgive you. Why are my friends tied up?
I've decided that I realized something. Maybe you deserve some forget. Oh God! Never mind. Screw you.
this frost simply because...
That we haven't figured out just yet. But I'm sure you'll be able to uncover it soon.
So then all we have to do is take down their so-called leader, then this whole frost will stop?
Yeah, take down the head, and the whole thing falls over, or whatever the quote from Ted was.
It's our best bet.
Whole thing goes down.
Thank you for giving us this info, Your Highness. We'll make sure to put it to good use.
No, thank you for risking your life to save this world.
Oh, before you both depart, I'd just like to speak to Aiden privately for a bit.
Everyone wants to speak to him privately.
I know about the mission from the king. You can't fool me. He sent me a letter.
Aiden?
Of course, Your Highness.
Ooh, he's going to the principal's office.
What do you think she wants him for?
Why? You jealous?
We're not anything like that.
Uh-huh.
Seriously, though.
And also, it would be a pretty bad look if one private conversation were to, you know, were to cause jealousy.
We just met around the forest. And
I mean, this is the second private conversation within the last few scenes.
Yeah. I wonder if Fee knows that they were childhood friends, and that's how she's going to find out. Is this how the lie reveal thing happens? It's not even Vivian that spills the beans. She comes in as like, I have crucial information for you. This man is a traitor. Oh, you already know? Okay. I'll just go back through the broken window then. Bye.
he just decided to come all this way to help me. Though, at times, I feel like his presence gives me a sense of familiarity.
Familiarity.
Maybe you guys
Famili-
are soulmates. Perhaps
Oh.
that's why you feel this way. Okay.
Everyone's hardcore shipping them right now.
Yeah, I was going to say. Also, the soulmate thing has a bad rep in Gacha. That's all I'll say about that.
God, I'm just saying, I hate the soulmate trend. Like, I'll see I'll see like trends and stuff where it's like, oh, pick your soulmate gets picked in 3, 2, 1, and then everyone has like a red or pink mark on their face or something like that. And it's like they turn around, oh my god, is that my bully? It's you. You're my soulmate, or something like that.
This is what I was implying. I'm pretty sure I've reviewed some gachas that are like that. At least
I
one.
hate this whole soulmate trend. I also hate the concept of soulmate in general. Because, like, I don't think everyone has a pure soulmate. I mean, like, everyone has, like, people they're compatible with. But there's
It takes away the autonomy and choice, and also implies there's only one person for everyone.
Like he's someone familiar.
Yeah, and like, what if you don't meet
Why
that
don't-
person? Unless you want to apply there's some sort of fate where you'll always end up meeting that person, which again, that also takes away autonomy, takes away like choice. It's like you don't even have choice anymore. You were just gonna meet this person regardless because fate.
And at that point, what's the point of even like showing a mark or anything and having visual proof of the magic that involved in the first place? Just if it was going to happen, then you would surely know anyway.
Don't you ask him about it? He might be feeling something similar as well.
Huh. Come to think of it, I've never really asked him why I felt like this.
Well, I mean, you keep getting
why you felt like this. I don't. Yeah, probably. I can see why not.
Ask him a little later. Now I'll just go and see if Aiden's done so we can head out.
Oh,
and so
God,
she's gonna overhear the conversation.
She's gonna walk into the
Queen,
conversation.
Yeah.
And then my reveal happens.
Oh, okay. So clearly this person does know how to do masking, unless that was like a different part of the background from something else.
Well, the background probably was cut. That's actually a pretty easy effect to do with layering.
Because you are a wielder, doesn't mean you can protect the princess from the army of the Luzelians.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna try. Duh.
And given the fact that you're almost exceeding
Nah, you know what? There's no point. Oh well, she should just go face them on their own because there's no point. I mean, if I fail, she's just dead anyway. So there's no point of trying, guys. There's no point in trying.
Yeah, and just for the record, I understand that's probably like the life lesson that is supposed to be learned from this whole video is that you should still try things even if you think that you might fail because the world would be better if more people were to attempt to do that and think that way. However, we don't need to beat it down with like every single character being like, oh, well, what if you fail? You shouldn't even try. Like, once is enough. The king already, like King Nicholas already.
Like you just need one. You just need one character. You just need one character to say that, and then maybe towards the end of the movie, where the character feels like they're about to fail, they like think about that. They're like, "There's no point in me trying." But then, someone motivates them.
Have the multiple characters say it only once. This queen has been, I said, like almost in every single sentence that she's done is all about like how futile this whole thing is. Even if it's a trait for multiple characters, we can get it very quickly.
There's no telling what would happen if you keep using it.
Isn't there? Has no one ever exceeded their magic limit yet? Ever in the history?
I'm aware of this, Your Highness. But I swore to protect her under any cost, even if it cost me my life.
Or my soul.
I see. But take this. It's only for a while.
Take this,
so
hand one sword.
Yourself.
I heard you needed another sword.
Have powers? The whole point was that the wielders could have overthrown them. Why does everyone have magic?
Understood.
Excuse me for interrupting, but I think we should be going now.
Ah, yes. Come.
Hold on, Ghosty's saying pull me in the sandpit in Discord. That means she wants to be brought into the stream.
I mentioned we do a code the overnight if she feels like it earlier.
I know. Yeah, right after she said that her head hurt so bad she couldn't think, which implied that she didn't feel like it.
I mean, if she felt better, obviously. Headaches go away, dude. I would know. I've been dealing with headaches for like the past, I guess, day and a half at this point.
Doesn't seem like going away, really.
This turns out to be a fruitful one.
And don't die, both of you.
Why is she calling out to them? They're right there.
We'll try.
She just stepped over his feet. She just crushed both of his ankles. Poor guy.
So, your powers were almost to its limit, huh?
You heard?
It wasn't my intention to, but I did. So, how long were you planning to keep this from me?
I didn't want you to worry about me.
Worry? Of course I would worry. You've been accompanying me and doing all these favors, and you really thought that I wouldn't find out sooner?
Well, it wasn't your intention to find out right now, so yeah, absolutely he thought that because you didn't find out sooner. You found out now.
Calissa, I didn't want to keep...
Oh, she's supposed to be angry again. This voice direction is atrocious.
It's just that... I'm sorry.
No,
look.
I should be the one who's sorry. Almost risking your life? What was I thinking? I
What do you mean,
it's
Well-
almost risking his life?
What do you mean? He's been risking his life. I mean,
Yeah,
no.
I mean-
yeah, I haven't been risking my life.
I mean,
this whole
come on,
time,
he's
guys.
he's got one foot in the grave. He's basically a ghost. Oh, look at that, a segue.
Ah.
Look at that, exactly. I was also about to say, yeah, I've been watching for a little bit. This voice direction has been really bad throughout this entire thing. I can't tell if she's supposed to be angry or if she's, benignly disinterested.
Yeah, and once again, the pauses, because this is like the arguments are more poorly paced than a Christopher Columbus film.
better if we go alone and
Wait,
separate
what?
from here.
What
Yeah.
Christopher Columbus film? Huh?
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, for example. We booked the Quidditch pitch today.
Oh.
I think you'll find that we didn't. This is the
Oh.
order.
That was Harry Potter. Oh, I was like, I thought you meant the actual Christopher Columbus.
Oh yes, the well-known film director and 16th century traveler.
That's why I was confused when you said that. I was like, who? What?
The director called Chris Columbus, not the explorer Christopher Columbus from the 15th century, before
Like-
Oh.
films existed.
Like, I remember that argument from the movie. The voice direction in the Harry Potter movies was always, pretty great until it got to, arguing, and then it was a hit or miss.
Oh,
I
guys,
swear some of the-
guys,
so
I got something interesting to tell you, by the way.
What?
I think J.K. Rowling is trying to go by a different pseudonym and not tell
She's done that
people,
before.
so people see it.
Oh
So-
no, like Aiden, she's done that before. She is written. I've read the transphobia book. It's not good. Go
Yeah.
back to your wizards, please.
Yeah, but like, okay, so there's this new movie coming out
Yes.
about this writer who writes these spy novels, right? But turns out she was writing what actually is happening, or writing the future, something along those lines. So it's like, ooh, shocking, it's like that whole thing, right? But
I see that
it's
makes
made
sense.
by in this
Robert
book,
Galbraith had a spy series.
no, and this book series was made by a new author. Some I forget the exact name, but there's some other stuff attached to it. Like, for example, in a San Diego Comic-Con interview at one point, someone mentioned, "Oh, what if there was like this author who's like writing the Harry Potter books, writing World About Wizards, and turns out everything they were writing was real." And there's a lot of weird coincidences. Like, for example, they got a movie deal, and the second book hasn't even came out yet, and the first book
second.
has came out. The first book has came out, but the second book hasn't came out. But they already have a multi-movie deal. So, like, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that is oddly suspicious. Like, is J.K. Rowling trying to pull something where it's like, oh no, I'm not that author. This is a different person, because her reputation's been literally destroyed by her. Because she's a horrible person, and it's like, oh, that's not good.
Jacob,
Because then you're tricking people who boycott anything that she made into watching your thing to be like, see, totally, guys, totally, it wasn't me. Like, that's a theory, but I mean, it is very plausible in my opinion.
like it is, but that's kind of off topic of the thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about the. Oh wait, J.K. Rowling in the transphobia books? Oh no.
Yeah, no, I'm just bringing that up just because you guys both know about the whole J.K. Rowling thing. It's like, dang.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling was one of my favorite authors, but turns out she hates the transes to protect the lesbians, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Like, those
She
are
hates them because she's such a feminist, guys. Hashtag
No.
feminism. Like, uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
I'm
Oh,
back,
hey,
and I
Rowling.
have brought props.
Props.
So okay, yes. Okay, so you're talking about J.K. Rowling being favorite authors until it turned out we showed her true colors. Well, introducing Fred Trastorn and the Nymph of the Sea, which was
Oh god.
yes, was something I started when I was
Oh,
like
God.
14. Because again, it was the same idea. Because what I mentioned about like what if J.K. Rowling was actually like writing what happened in reality? But I thought instead, what if she actually was from a Wizarding World, but it wasn't the same one? So it was one that she had like made a few changes to in order to actually not expose the secret of it. And so the main character of this particular series was, it starts off with the premise of he actually gets like the book of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone as a birthday present, and then because I also got that book when I as a present when I was 11, but then it actually starts like reflecting his life up until the end twist of the book, because the twist is different because you think it's going to go in that direction, but again, classic me, I subvert expectations, so it turns out it was actually somebody else, even if some of the stuff that happens in it aligns. So yeah, and I did in fact say series because not only was there one of them, but I made 2 sequels. Along with, I actually ran out of paper in one of them, so there's another book somewhere with the rest of it, and then like the start of 4. I got up to book 4 of this, and then like dropped it. And the reason I've done nothing with those as of lately is because again, those were done in like 2014 onwards, before any of this stuff came out, and I was like, well, I probably should not be like working on a series again where like J.K. Rowling is like a central figure in the universe that everyone loves and praises. Doesn't really fit anymore.
Honestly, I would just completely change it. Like, change the whole author. Like, change the whole name. Make up an author. Make them completely different from J.K. Rowling. Wait. Oh my god.
The problem is that like the entire first book is written as if the sense like, oh, was this like prophesizing my own destiny almost? Because again, like a lot of the beats are the same. I might talk about these in like a different video at some point. Like I'll just like synopsize the story in some videos or something like that. So you'll see what I mean. But as far as the first book goes, that would just not work entirely. I have to like retcon and reboot the entire thing for it to work.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could actually have it be like a trans author, you know, and just like be a giant middle finger in that regard. And she's a very progressive author. Like
I literally did that I actually did that as a Harry Potter fan fiction when Harry was trans. I guess I'll just do that with the author too. Yeah, fair enough. I was also very worried about getting sued, because I thought, random teenager publishing these books definitely going to be like a huge threat to
legality. I don't think it's legal.
I'm just representing you like as the best in the best light I possibly can.
Yeah, I don't
that's
think
how much I admire you.
And then reality came in, like a wrecking ball and just smashed you in the face.
Exactly. So yeah, just as well that I shelved the project before that actually happened.
Can we get a big oops in chat, please? Definitely a big oops in chat.
Yes. We weep for Fred Trastorn.
Like, both me and Jacob were blindsided when it turned out J.K. Rowling was a terrible person.
I mean, hey, that's what I'm learning more and more. Like, it's like, oh, this person's really cool, and then I look into them and like, oh god, they're following that person on social media. They're liking these kind of posts. Like, god, there's like this person who does OnlyFans. They have like they're in a cute gay relationship with this gay guy. They both do OnlyFans, whatever. But like some of they have like these political videos and like,
I like
god, and they specifically follow. God, I think they follow like Gays Against Groomers, which they're not against actual groomers, by the way. But the name is misleading.
I love how the acronym for that is gag.
Gag.
You see a post with me just like.
Yeah, but it's like god, and then it's like he just like oof.
Like, can we get back to the movie, please? This movie
we
that's so
absolutely
uninteresting that we feel compelled to talk about literally anything else.
I know, wait, that's the Lyra reveal scene. I'm surprised that they didn't ask for redirections for this one scene. Like, I mean, I get other scenes not asking for redirections, but keep in mind, this is the Lyra reveal scene where the characters are responding to the characters' lies. Like, this is the point in the narrative where there should be the most emotion. Like the it should have more. It should be more animated. It should have more expressions. It should have higher quality voice acting. At least for one scene where it temporarily goes up in quality. For one
Maybe
scene.
also the scene with Vivian earlier.
Yeah.
Well, then again, the actress playing Vivian actually did like pull that off pretty well on her own, considering that apparently there was
no direction. Oh wait! Oh no! Were you here in the stream when Jacob died earlier?
Oh yes, I was in the stream when Jacob died earlier.
We're not. Here we go again.
Yeah, we go again. Also, Aiden, to give you some info about my headache, yes, it is a little better, but only in the capacity to which I can actually, perceive with my eyes in a way that isn't painful.
I mean, yeah, I get it.
Hashtag in bed till 3 a.m. gay. In bed till 3 p.m. gay.
I was in bed till like 4:30 today, like sleeping because I've been really sick. It's like I'm gonna lay here and just sleep.
But
Ew.
anyway, yeah, you have a point. This is the lie reveal scene. This is the point that, they should have gotten the lines and it should have been dramatic. Because in any other narrative but this one movie, it would have been, a dramatic reveal. Ooh, the liar.
Yeah.
But here we are with flat delivery, and I'm really not surprised considering how this movie has been going so far.
Oh well, what can you do?
What can you do except for wait for Jacob to come back? Hopefully
Yeah.
he comes back. I don't know.
I want screaming. I want crying. I want her beating him up. I want him stabbing her.
Like maybe not beating him.
I'm kidding.
What did I just come back to?
I want her emotionally destroying this man.
We're talking about how the delivery of the liar reveal scene is as flat as my butt.
Your butt isn't flat. I don't think.
No,
I haven't seen it.
Flat. It's flat.
I don't think it is. Maybe I don't know.
No, it's flat.
Oh.
How would you know, Aiden?
I don't know. She's always
I don't know,
Aiden. She's always sitting down. I don't know.
Flat. Anyway, we're talking about how
I
flat
mean, she has like gotten
is.
up to like walk away at some times, but I haven't like checked.
Yeah, that'd be weird checking. No.
Please do not check me out.
Exactly. Which is why. Yes. Please check me out. A lesbian.
No,
2024.
like I said to not check me out. But yeah, we're talking about how flat the line delivery has been in this movie, because it's been really terrible so far.
Certainly has.
It's just that
This jerk gives me real cat
I should be the one who's
vibes.
sorry. Almost risking your life.
He does look like
What was I thinking? I think it's better if we go alone and separate from here.
Dude, you would have died multiple
You'll
times.
both
if it wasn't for
die.
him.
What was I thinking? She sounds bored and disinterested.
Yeah, sure you saved my life
what was
twice,
I
but I can't
thinking?
trust you. Ooh. Yeah.
What's your problem?
are you alright?
I remember you.
You keep running after me. You almost cost your life.
Like, that was the most pitiful thing. Instead of a scream of pain, she was like, oh, a mild inconvenience.
It reminds me of the fallen angels headaches that we didn't like have any sound for. Just like Adam putting his hand on his head for a bit.
I have a headache.
Yeah, that
listen.
would have worked.
Listen, I don't know how to make a
Listen,
sound
you know
effect
how
for
to-
a headache.
You go off on your own just so you
Yeah,
can get
but
yourself...
at least anything would be better than the voice actress, lightly just like her headache is, nothing major, just a mild disinterest.
I guess I got a headache.
Mhm.
Oh, this sucks. Oh.
No, girly pop, you should be in pain.
There's barely any voice acting that isn't words.
myself killed with my head off at the day of your marriage ceremony.
Well,
my
you were the
head
one
off
who...
on the day of your
Wait.
marriage.
I
Mommy.
never told you about that wedding plan.
Oh god.
Oh, he's...
How'd you come to know about it when it wasn't... You were sent by my father, weren't you?
Okay. Do you see how eyes like shake for a bit? That I really enjoy. I've only seen that in Not Your Average Girl actually,
I mean, it's in a
which
bit
has
of
like an
Music
amnesia
Freaks.
plot. I won't spoil it
It's
for
in a
now.
bit of Music Freaks. Well.
All this time.
Like, fun fact about eyes is that they do
Fair enough.
like oh.
Speaking of,
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of,
I was gonna say speaking of, I want to do like another Music Freaks thing, but like on here and invite different people next time. So anyone who wants to talk about Music Freaks that hasn't had a chance to do so because the whole Butter Bunch thing, your chance shall be soon. Not like tomorrow. Ghosty's like, I have so many opinions. I must I must unleash them all.
I waved my hands too quickly, and now my headache has returned.
Oh. Oh god.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine, guys.
Okay.
That's...
I thought you
my head.
Actually wanted to help me. But here you are, following orders. How could I have been such a fool?
Also,
How could I be the fool? You betray me and I am the fool. I am fed up with this world.
Father was right.
That's the level we're at
Also,
right now.
Pause for a second. I'm just gonna say this is actually a nice touch with the eyes, is that you can see them like shifting every so often. Because often when people are looking for something in somebody else's eyes, their eyes like twitch back and forth like they're searching.
Yeah.
I should really stop believing in fanatical sensations.
Eyes are rarely ever
You
static.
know that's not true.
Do I really? I got myself into this mess, not
She was smiling at that. Okay.
even knowing what your intentions were. Tell me, Aiden, how can you prove to me that I can trust you when I don't even know whether you're saying the truth right now?
I saved your life twice and trained you with a sword. The end.
For all I know, this
Listen.
could be some kind of plan
You
just to
know,
convince me to
other
trust you
than
again.
her, blurry
Can you really tell me
PNG
everything?
handbag. Why blurry PNG handbag?
I don't like the fact that the PNG handbag looks nothing like the actual designs. Because like the thing is with the Gacha art style they have harder lines, but like the way the lines are done is like I don't even think there are proper outlines on the bag. Like if they do have outlines, they're extremely soft. So it's like it doesn't work artistically with the character.
I thought so.
Whether you're willing to forgive me or not, I just want to let you know that sometimes people lie and hide to protect the ones they can.
I get it. I like to think that he's talking at normal volume, but she's just walking away, and so he gets like he fades away. It's like, no matter what you think, all I will do is I put
Care about.
Oh, look at that! As soon as she's alone, the Zillions attack.
Calissa, look out!
What are those things?
I guess he got his sword back. Which, by the way, I love the fact that he trained her to use a sword, but then he doesn't have a sword to give her, so he has to take that back. So those 3 days have been essentially wasted.
But aren't sticks so much better than swords?
Go, you wild.
For him, maybe, but not for her.
Oh my god!
She's not
She's pulling a Dorothy.
Also,
Unhand me, you wild beast! Roar! I am so angry. Roar! Grr!
yeah,
and
that's
such.
just this is what I mean about line delivery sounding bored and disinterested.
Yep.
Calissa! Let her go!
Let
he
her
just stabbed
go.
himself.
Ah, the sword.
He stabbed himself.
I hate this movie.
Oh, I guess they're both kidnapped now. Oh well.
I love how we at the end of the last video we were like, oh wow, all this stuff we talked about before, like this nice twist that got wrapped up. Everything that started up is so far so good. We're all having such a good time with this. Like, yeah, it's not perfect, but we can see where things would have improved and where Vlog dropped down on the lines. And now this episode is just like, I hate this movie.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm just getting more disappointed. It's like I'm not mad. I'm
Yeah.
just disappointed.
I
Yeah.
am kind of mad because I came
Yeah.
in with low expectations and now I have a lower expectation.
Oh dear.
I should just
What
stop having
happened?
expectations.
Oh,
You know,
Yeah.
I have beef with the fact
Mhm.
that
Also, if Aiden was knocked out second, how did he wake up first?
I have beef with the fact that a lot of these projects that have extremely, or at least mildly high visuals compared to something that I make, tend to have a hit or miss story, or like have weak elements of a story, and like I get kind of like. So let me get this straight: you have the skills to animate, but you don't have the skill level to tell the world's best story. I don't know. It's like I don't
That
know.
makes a lot of
Just-
sense, Aiden.
I don't know. It just
The
makes
reason
me kind of sad because like I feel like I don't know.
And the reason for the trichotomy that I mentioned last episode, that the idea that the people either have like the visual skills but not the writing skills, not the visual skills, or neither one most of the time in Gacha, is because the ones who actually do perfect their crafts will go in one direction and not the other. If I start out from that one point.
Say, you aren't hurt anywhere, are you?
If this is your way to show me that you care, forget it.
Oh my God, we're both kidnapped. I'm
Jeez,
just
I'm
checking
more
up
worried
on
about
your
my
health.
health.
It's
Jeez.
like freaking.
Like, what do you want me to do? Be like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Also,
assume you're
I like
all
to think
right.
that she's actually like. I'd like to think she's actually like in intense pain. I think
she's like missing an
okay, I think
eye.
she's actually
Her
like in
arm is
intense
her
pain,
arm is cut
but
off.
she's just not willing to admit.
Like,
She's like, how?
Her leg is sprained, and she's like, "Oh, now you care." It's just
No,
like
it isn't.
you're injured.
Come on.
What do you mean? Oh well, you could have fooled me.
Like, I'm
And then
perfectly
she just
fine.
passed out because of blood.
No thanks to you, obviously. In her head, my spleen. Ah, I've got a hole in my pancreas. Help me. I am perfectly okay.
I am perfectly okay. I don't want any of your
True.
pity.
Giving myself to you.
I'm fine, just so you're aware. By the way, do you happen to know where
Luzelian's territory. Or, more like their prison.
How do creatures with no possible thumbs put together a prison like this?
Well, you see, their magical horse powers allow them to build stuff with their minds.
They have telekinesis. Actually, you know what? In Norse mythology, a horse apparently did help build a gigantic wall. So I guess maybe there is something to that.
Let me explain.
Magic horses.
For the record, I
Guys,
did
we
ask
just
you to
unlocked the secrets of the universe.
Yes, it was
Magic horses.
Yeah, in case anyone was wondering, it was the same horse that Loki seduced by turning into a female horse and bearing its child.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Don't show you that in Marvel, do they?
Yeah,
What
no,
do you mean?
actually-
Bestiality is cool.
Can you imagine if they did?
Like,
And what did you do? Stayed silent.
the thing about that is that,
Mhm.
that horse is, Odin rides his nephew into battle, if you think about it.
Yeah, or was it nephew or grandson? I guess grandson would be if they're talking about that. Yeah.
Silent, that's what. Well, anyway, I guess this is one way to get here. Now, the next thing is...
These bars
Also,
are sealed
by the
with
way,
spells,
dude, you
so
still
whoever
have your
believes-
sword.
What bars? Those things, my good man, are called bricks.
No, I think it. No, I think
Not
he's referencing
bars.
the fourth wall, aka the one part of the wall we're not seeing currently.
Which isn't that just amazing for a person who's able to create foregrounds to not have the foresight to have like actual prison bars and show them across? Like, clearly we've seen them capable of that because that's how the balcony was done earlier.
Luzelian's capture will be able to escape even through magic.
What are you, some sort of psychic?
Your thoughts are way more predictable than you think, Princess.
At least I'm actually trying to think of a way to escape, unlike you, who's just sitting here predicting my thoughts.
Well, pardon me for not emphasizing this well, but
I'm sorry, I believe what you meant to say was, Well, excuse
Me, princess! I swear that should have been a reference in the Zelda movie. God, that we should have had that reference. It would have been hilarious. Well, excuse me, princess.
That's actually a very good point. I don't think Zelda was on screen enough for that to really like make sense, but yeah.
Whatever you think of.
Wait, what if we had a reverse of that? Like
The
maybe
only
like Impa talking to Zelda talking to Impa. It's like, well, excuse me, Impa, in that exact tone.
I guess.
Reference. I love
All
references.
right. Yeah.
I love
Fine.
references. KW's crying now. She can't handle the
That was definitely
reference.
that joke was for her. Of all
Be
people.
out of here is for someone to free us from the outside. All of the means are impossible.
There better be a good explanation as to why they put me in the same cell as.
Wait, hold on. They let him keep his sword.
Yeah, I
Use
was
the
gonna say
laser
that.
from
He has a
earlier.
sword.
Yeah, blast the rocks like you blasted the cave and create a big explosion that will like destroy the entire prison. No magic.
No magic, just do it the old-fashioned way.
I mean, even if it's the person's magic proof, you still have your sword.
There you go. We got a slight spoiler there. Fair enough.
Ooh.
It'll only be a good one if you'd actually be willing to listen.
Then tell me, what's there for you to explain? That you have many other secrets you haven't told me?
Yes, we're childhood friends, by the way. Just since we're laying it all out on the table right now, I might as well get that out, clear the air.
Or perhaps the fact that all those things you said back there were false and that you truly didn't care about this mission at all?
Also,
You
look
really
how
think I would
fast the
just
lip flaps are. Like the VA is speaking fast, but I feel like I like how the lip flaps are also just as fast.
Absolutely,
I'd
yeah.
stand up for you if I
Yeah,
didn't
this
care.
movie is visually pretty.
Yeah, I think that's like the one advantage of lip syncing that I can actually get behind.
If I didn't care, then why do you think I'd bring
I
you
don't
this
bother
far?
with lip
when I-
syncing. Like,
Oh yeah,
that-
don't get me wrong, I still think it's largely a redundant procedure in most cases, but that is the
Yeah.
one advantage I can see actually, being a reason for it.
could've
Well,
easily
lip
just brought
syncing
you-
is generally a very hard thing to do and takes too much time.
Exactly. It's a hard thing to do. It takes a lot of time, and it gets the same results the animated mouse in question. That's why I think it's mostly redundant, except for in these situations.
back from where you came from.
Well, in
seeing
this
that you
case, we're
put
dealing with
yourself
full
in-
animation, which I don't know if you get. I guess you get green screen on the animated mouse, but I mean that could run
absolutely
into
could.
issues. That could run
In
into
fact-
issues if you don't scale them properly, or like or if the character moves their head, because then the mouth got to move on the same level as the head, and then it ends up
Wouldn't
being
you
a
also
mess.
have to move the mouth anyway to do that?
I guess, but it's one of those things where I feel like, again, that's why one of the things like with Gacha Life 2, I'm not like, oh, I know how to get animated mouse in Gacha Life 2. I'll just green screen a bunch of animated mouse on the characters because I know eventually it would start slipping up and they would start looking off or wonky, or the mouth would be slightly too high or slightly too low, or like they would move their head slightly and then their mouth wouldn't clip down. And it's like, I ain't having constant visual
I remember
glitches.
Williams' edits in season 2.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I personally don't want to deal with all that kind of issues. So it's like, yeah, no, I'd rather just have the mouse actually be physically on the character.
and then there's me just
Oh, Bond
casually.
is back.
And then there's me casually sending Jacob my edit horror stories.
Yeah. I thought you meant like just now, but yeah.
If that's the case, then why in the world would you decide to hide the secret from me? Did you really think preventing me from worrying was the best plan?
Trust me, Alyssa. Having to keep this from you was way harder than you think.
That doesn't really answer the question, but sure.
Then what were you bound to do?
What?
Based on my conclusion, my father sent you to come after me, but it didn't look at all that you were sent to bring me back. So what were you requested
To protect you.
From devastation.
Then something else doesn't
To
add
unite
up.
people under our nation.
Why did he specifically choose you instead of the guards? Unless...
You would have suspected the guards. You
Oh
know
yes,
all
a
of the
guard just
guards.
casually helping me. Oh man, yeah, this has nothing to do with my father. Like,
Yeah,
if
imagine
a
if it was
guard-
like that
okay,
one guard that he's like really close friends with, just like in heavy disguise, like with a mustache, just like yes, I'm a completely different person.
hypothetically, let's say a guard did help her. Wouldn't she have to come to terms with that guard's probably going to be executed for helping her because against her father's wishes, unless
I know.
she knew about the guard being
I
sent
know.
for her.
I know I said the characters are all idiots, but the king is not that stupid. Callista
Yeah.
clearly is, but that's beside the point. You'll look to his own doubts. The film degraded yet. Money
Somewhat.
Aiden.
Let's just say that it looks pretty, but the voice direction is terrible, making me very rapidly lose interest.
And also, the story is falling apart on several levels. I mean, it already kind of was, but most of the time, in last time was the setup. Now, because we're wrapping things up, it's all supposed to come together. And that twist that we got towards like the middle portion of last part was probably the exception. Not gonna lie.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the problem with some story writing people do. It's either people have good setup but terrible payoff, or people have no setup and just the payoff. And that's kind of what
Most
happens.
like your jokes without a setup and just the punchline.
Yeah.
He
You're
knew
a
about
baka.
me being a wielder.
He did? But how?
Well, there was this girl. I've mentioned her before. You know that
She was
close
my
friend of
best friend
mine?
at childhood. She looked
was
just
some-
like you.
Someone from royalty. Though through her, I met your father. Of course, since I was a wielder, I'd been taught that royals were our enemy. But she showed me that there was much more to it, and I realized perhaps I'd gotten it all wrong.
Do all the magic wielders think the
Perhaps the
same?
wielders were the issue after all. Perhaps I'm the problem. Hey, I'm the
Yep.
problem. It's me.
A man walked into a bar. No, that's the seven no punchline. That can actually be funny in the right hands. Namely,
Well,
J
that's just a setup. A man walked into a bar.
I just said that, Aiden.
Yes.
Same way.
Listen, I'm smart.
You can't really blame us.
I'm
if we
big
do.
brain.
We are descendants of the first, after all.
The
guess
first,
that
the
makes
first
sense.
evil from Buffy.
I did think that at the time. I just didn't mention it.
That girl. She was me, right?
You weren't supposed to know that.
He's gonna be like, "Wow, I'm so impressed with your intelligence. How'd you figure that out?" Because remember, last episode he was impressed that she put like two very came to a very simple conclusion. Yeah, last time I can't remember what it was
Yeah.
anymore, but it was something very basic. Yeah, I just said that, Spawn. Anyway,
So it's true. From the very beginning, I always sensed something familiar. And to be honest, I wasn't exactly sure if my guess was true. But your reaction proved everything. Plus, you're really predictable yourself.
God, this is giving Amber vibes from Invincible. It's like, well, I obviously already knew that. It's like you gave no indication that you knew that beforehand or had an inkling of it.
it's giving Robin vibes from The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh man,
I just had a feeling about you, there's like this lost expression that you have or something. Only orphans get that, and I've only ever seen that on Batman. It must be you. No one else could have worked that out. Just me.
Oh, you really are
I
something.
am the biggest brain boy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
This pain and memories I've been getting. You were the one who put me under an enchantment, right?
Oh.
This is awkward.
Sorry I
it's
messed
all-
with your
all coming
head. Oopsie doopsies.
Once again, frozen. Erase the memory of a traumatic experience by touching the head.
Of course. But it was your father who had ordered me. It was though he wanted to keep you safe in case I might have tried to hurt you with my magic. As you probably heard, I tend to lose control when I overuse
As
it.
you should, as
typical of
you
my
probably heard.
So wait, erasing our memory because of the use of someone's because the fear of the use of someone's magic after potentially hurting them? Oh, I wonder where I've seen that before. I'm frozen.
Bother to do so. So, if you make contact with me or something that triggers one of our actions from before, my memories of you start to come?
Well, he's called you Cal multiple times. That was an action from before. Nothing triggered from that, so probably not.
Apparently so. I casted it upon you when I was a juvenile, so it's not as discerning as
Who
the
says
magic I'm capable
juvenile
of
like
controlling.
that? Like when you're referring to you as a kid.
A
Yeah,
wielder
you
from a
normally-
different universe.
I casted it upon you when I was a juvenile.
That sounds like a medical term or like a more scientific term.
It
Oh,
could
yes,
be a
this
juvenile
you-
wielder.
I guess,
Yeah,
but
as in a young wheeler, but still, it's just
it's weird.
weird.
If I
It's
was a bit
a
older, then perhaps
very weird terminology.
even if we crossed paths, you wouldn't have fragments at all.
I see. But wait, now that you're older, can't you withdraw the enchantment?
He probably could have withdrawn it when he was younger. If he cast it, he can withdraw it. That's how that usually works.
It's not that simple. Since I've bound it to you for a lifetime, I can't just take it back.
Wait, you just
One of
casually
us,
have the ability
one of
to
us
ban-
has to die.
No, wait, let me
It's
let
a
me
tragic love story.
wait. So to unbound an enchantment, it's easy for you to easily when you were a kid, you were able to easily do a lifetime enchantment. I mean, that's like a crazy level of power to be like, oh yeah, it lasts for a lifetime. Like I understand temporary, like a bandage, but like a lifetime. Like, how much power are you packing? Jeez.
Enough power to blast away the weather when he was older.
Since I lose control when I overuse my powers, if I were to undo the spell, who knows what'll happen? Besides, the only way to undo a lifetime spell is...
Death,
Never
obviously.
mind. It's not it.
Oh,
But I mean, to be fair, technically speaking, he could clinically die for like a minute or like a few seconds, and then be resuscitated, and bam, memories back. Because technically, you were dead.
I don't know if
You were dead,
medicine
technically.
has advanced. Yes, I go something that would work. However, I don't know if medicine's that advanced in this universe in order to get to that point.
Listen, it technically worked for Buffy. Buffy died for like a minute, and then she was resuscitated, and then it called a new Slayer. Okay, so
Buffy lived in the late 20th to early 21st century, and died in both of those.
She died
Yeah,
twice.
I'm not sure. We'd have to have like a spell where it's like, oh, I guess he's dead now. All right, defibrillatoria. There you go.
I mean, there probably could be a defibrillator spell or like a lightning kind of spell.
They'd have to know what a defibrillator was in order to invent a defibrillator spell.
Well, you know, there's electricity to start your heart up. You are 17, going on 8. God, I got that meme stuck in my head.
Going on dead.
You know,
Going
meeting you
on.
again, I gained a lot of
Meanwhile, Aiden, you wanna know what's stuck in my head? You know that left-handed meme I sent you?
Yes.
I just thinking of that, but it's just dark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
listen,
I've
I
watched
like
this stuff.
I like the bit with the spirits of the bog. There was bog.
The
God,
spirits of the marsh.
Yeah, spirits of the marsh. Like, dang. Is that what left-handed people go through? Dang, that must suck.
Apparently it's a sign of the devil, so you never know.
I think all of this trouble.
Well, I mean, they are basically the devil, but you know.
Ooh, fear me.
Ooh.
Fear me.
And like ambidextrous people are basically angels, or they're not devils, but they're not humans. They're angels.
They're incubi and succubi.
Obviously. Listen, I have to learn how to use both hands.
Yes.
Nope, I'm not gonna use that.
I'm not touching that one.
Unlike the succubi and incubi, but then she.
I suppose that was all I needed to hear. Thank you, Aiden.
I used to console my sister a lot like this when she was down. So glad to hear I still got the hang of it.
What happened to her?
Her name was
Died.
Erin, but she
Probably.
went missing 8 years ago and hasn't come back since.
What if it turns out she's the villain?
That would actually
Like
be.
that's why. Oh yeah, because he comes out from a line of really powerful mages. Yeah. I guess.
Family and I tried looking for her, but she was long gone. A lot assumed she was dead, but I'd like to think not.
I'm sorry you had to.
There's
suffer
a high
that.
possibility she
I've
could be the
never
villain
experienced
now.
Hmm. I was joking at first, but now
Also,
I'm
by
thinking
the way, I
maybe
hate
has
how
more
long
weight
this
to it.
conversation is on the jail cell because, like, here's the thing: they haven't changed pose as much, or they haven't did much animation-wise. They just kind of been sitting here and just talking and doing similar motions for like what has it been, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
Not even sure because Rishi doesn't
Like,
tell me. However,
The
I
shot
will
shot
say
hasn't
the camera
changed
angles.
much. Yeah, the camera angles, maybe zoom in, zoom out, that would at least make it more interesting.
Same issue I had with like the dinner argument and in part 1. Exactly the same problem. I think that Unbounded actually knew to account for immediately.
Before, so I can't
It's
really.
alright. You being here.
Unbounded is also some of the best cinematography in all of Gacha. Which is why it's a shame that didn't actually win any Jacob awards, because people just, I guess, because then people want me to like open up the votes.
Enough to put me at ease. Sorry, I tend
a sound effect.
to
Take
say
it away.
things without thinking. What's so funny?
It's just, this feels like the first time we met. How you accidentally called me Cal?
Yeah.
That wasn't the first time they met because of the childhood thing, but yes, this now.
It does, doesn't it?
I'm glad I got to know at least a little bit about you.
Where's the vampire lady? Yeah, the vampire lady got mad and flew off.
Yeah.
And about myself too.
She literally mattered for not even a couple of minutes. Very tragic,
In
really.
this part, she was key in the parts of this, because obviously, again, whole movie. But yeah. And no, she didn't just poo, she actually flew.
What do you think is happening to Vivian? Do you think she's looking for us right now?
Oh, we just talked about her.
If she is, she'll be here soon enough.
Speak of the devil.
What was that?
Sounds like an explosion.
It was
I hope you both didn't forget me.
Your mouth isn't moving, Vivian.
Also, by the way, the bricks don't line up. Like, why are the bricks gray outside the cell but brown inside the cell?
Also, Jacob, you just paused in an awkward moment.
Vivian.
Yeah, like
I
don't know.
I gotta ask, does everyone in this movie have no inflection?
Oh, I thought you said reflection for a second. Yeah, no inflection. No.
Sorry about before.
No, you were right. I had to swallow my pride and forgive. So I'm the one who should be sorry.
And speaking of, bring in Xavier or whatever his name was, and they break them out together. That'd been nice. Anyway.
Did you guys get into a fight or something?
You could
Yeah, you weren't there for it though.
I see.
All right. Time.
Yeah, you were off exploring. You decided to go for a walk.
And
for
then
no
you got
reason.
kidnapped.
I need the characters to have an intimate moment for a private conversation. What do? I would like to walk. I am definitely not a Sims character right now.
I'm gonna get you out of here. There we go.
Well, that looked rather easy.
Yeah.
You said it. You're doing the
Come to
review for
think
me.
of it, why didn't you use your wielding skills to break this, Aiden?
Yeah, why didn't you can blast away the weather?
Well, I did try, but it drains your powers when you use them against it from the inside.
Why would you need more than one attempt? You were in a cave on the inside of a cave before and blasted the blizzard and some rocks away in one strike. Did that not drain your power too much?
What?
Why didn't if we look at it it was probably an excuse to have an intimate moment with the main character.
Yeah, and now she's going back into what you just told me. So even though we have got into that moment, now they're going back to Aiden not mentioning stuff. Oh God.
Has he learned nothing?
I just didn't want you to worry.
No, he hasn't. That's
it's
the
just
point.
a habit of mine. Sorry.
Hold on. Just do you still just do the quick third guest thing? Yes, you can be the quick third guest. I haven't done that in a while, but I technically never stopped. Just no one's asked that, so sure.
I sent you
where
the
are
room,
you?
KW.
There you are. Never mind. I will. Never mind. Click Aiden's link. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Aiden's quicker on the draw than you are.
The cries of KW from like the embassy room. We summoned the spirit of KW and she is displeased.
I hate this movie so much! Where is the magic logic? Why are you calling me Frozen? Why are you calling me Disney? This does not make sense! Why? How are you so weak in a freaking cage? Is it because it's made of like some sort of limestone or something? Is that why you can just blast a storm away? Ah!
It's like Wizards of Waverly Place. Instead of plastic being the natural enemy of magic, it's stone. It's brick, specifically.
No, it's not even stone. It's like brick and clay.
Don't get me started that.
Not
with
rock,
that.
because rock.
Oh.
Because he blasted away rocks before.
Cement. Cement is the main enemy of magic.
Man, I guess that's a cemented weakness of magic.
Like I said, Wizards of Waverly Place has comedic magic, but there are times where I'm like,
certainly
really? Is that the plot we're going for? Really? In some episodes? But this, oh god, I don't know what, I thought Shivery Husband was a snoofus, but this one comes in second place! I can't keep up with it!
Literally, I'm making
Shivery
my
Husband's
soda.
definitely still worse.
Literally, I'm making my soda and Gacha Life too.
Vaughn, you want to join real quick to say your piece?
I'm about to leave anyway. But I'm gonna say one thing. Also,
what the heck Gacha Life 2 than this? Wow.
Was that explosion? It was just a poof. That's it. There was no loud rumbling, crumbling noise or anything like that, like an explosion should be. Like ah!
Nope, just poofed away.
Oh. I'm just.
KW is broken.
Only took off the metal bars. The stone walls, which would be much less resistant, were not vulnerable to this. No.
Yeah, but still more rumbly crumbly, please.
Yes. Anyways, goodbye, or we say in Japanese, Jenny.
All right. This reminds me of one thing that we do with BB actually is like not recorded, but we just as every time like Epic the music like drops a new a new like collection of songs, just we listen to those. I'm just thinking of like Ruthlessness now. Like KW comes in with like a huge scream. It's like Poseidon, Poseidon.
Gosh.
But Luzelians don't possess magic. How in the world would they get this cell to be enchanted?
This would be evidence enough that they're working for someone else, if that was the theory from before confirmed.
Well, to summarize it, when we were in the Palace of Alflaria, the Queen and her sister had this theory that these creatures had someone superior with a high rank in magic controlling them to give out.
I guess also speaking of the Guardians, took one of my favorite elements of the Guardians. The rapid explanation with accompanying visuals that are actually synced up to the words.
Orders, as well as to make individuals think they are to blame for this frost. So, my guess is that their leader was the one who chanted these cells.
That's quite the summary.
Oh, that goes.
Anyways, let's get out of here before we
That's quite the summary. Could you please slow down and explain it again?
So, how exactly?
Yeah. Also, that does explain why they could build this prison without like opposable thumbs, because I mentioned that earlier.
How did you break in here?
Well, I brought backup.
Ah, there we go.
Whoa.
Oh.
I've never seen so many
I guess we have
vampires
army
gathered
now.
like this.
Yeah, because before it was like we were in the Vampire Kingdom, so yeah, she can call in a favor. Her brother's superior.
How did you round them all up?
I had some help.
Vivian,
Told you.
I was worried
Could you
about
have some infliction,
managed to get them?
please? Just a
All in
little
one
bit.
piece.
Just a pinch wouldn't hurt.
Vivian, I was so worried. You can tell. Yeah,
Please, just
Vivian,
a
I'm
pinch.
speaking over the top of a rousing army.
Please.
I hope you can hear me properly.
A pinch more inflection. Just a pinch. Just a crumb. But listen, when your inflection.
I think someone, I think Aiden mentioned yesterday, Ghost Kitty, that what reminds me of Viara. Aiden said that before in part one.
Viara?
But yeah, just a bit of, just a modicum of inflection. Like at least, I was gonna say at least once, but we did get it once from Aiden earlier when he said like Vivian's name. We got one word that was like emoted properly.
I'm glad.
And if a single word is
by the
emoted
way.
properly, you should probably stop whatever you're doing and reflect upon your life decisions.
Hey, have you sensed any powerful aura, like something really strong around the area?
Other than these Lazillions, nothing. Why?
It's someone we have to face to stop this frost.
Wait. You're planning on facing someone powerful? Vian, I just got you back. I'm not risking the chance of you.
I know, but I have to do this. I promised to help the princess.
At least let me come with you.
As much as I'd like...
Remember, think about it, Vivian. If you fail, it won't have mattered, so you shouldn't try.
that these vampires need a leader. They need you to give them orders.
Then why don't you just use having the
the
army to
one
fight the
superior,
big bad?
No one else has done it.
Use the army. You have an army. That'll be so easy to beat a
Yeah,
big
you brought
bad.
an army to. You brought an.
You
brought
have
an
an
army to
army!
break 2 people out of a prison, but not take against a final boss.
Ah, man.
This is why
Only
you're
if we
not
had
a
an army
superior,
to
'cause you
beat this
failed
final boss.
You failed the aptitude test.
Only if we had an army, guys. Only if. But oh well, there's nothing I could do.
Able to manage themselves, but if things get out of hand, you need to be there.
Plus, if you die, it wouldn't have
promise I'll be
mattered,
careful.
right?
You better.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, we almost could have had a
Sorry,
vampire
David.
army to fight this big
If you had to
bad.
scout for
Oh
a stronger
man,
aura
too
that
bad
isn't
we can't
overwhelmed.
have that, right?
And knowing Lazillians aren't contained with magic, we've deducted that it might be a bearer or a wielder.
I said the VR thing. Oh, it was you said the VR. Okay. I knew it was
I know,
someone
I
from
was
the part 1.
confused. I was confused. I was like, what is VR? Who's VR? Who?
The creator of Sapphire Wings and the main character of
Oh.
Sapphire Wings.
Is Sapphire Wings off
So
YouTube, by the way? Is Sapphire Wings been deleted?
Yes.
Oh, I googled it and I was like, what happened to Sapphire?
All that's left are my reviews. I have once again become the archive of Gacha videos.
That really sucks, though. I
See,
hate
you made
when
amends
people
with that
work so
vampire.
hard on our series, but then
Oh,
take it off
yeah.
YouTube. It's like, come on, you worked hard on it. At least you just
Like,
keep it up in the
I can
States.
understand if you start something and then become ashamed of your work.
I mean, fair enough, but I mean, for what I saw, Sapphire Wings was a
I made a whole
flawed
Walking Wednesday about this.
like for what I see, Sapphire Wings was yes a flawed project, but it wasn't, for example, a Taming the Bad Boy. If that makes any sense, despite its flaws, it still had some good elements, and a lot of people were involved in the voice acting and stuff like that. And like, there was something more to something like Sapphire Wings that would be worth keeping it around versus just deleting it. You know.
There's even more worth of Time Switch as well, and Beauty is Pain. Those other things.
Yeah. But like, I hate
Apparently
like
it's been
us.
privated, only episode 8. Still.
Uh,
Okay, at least they haven't been deleted. That's something. Guess it could return in the future. But oh well.
Yeah, Xavier was actually the reason I was able to rally up the vampires. He's the king.
Yeah, we got that. He's a superior vampire. You mentioned this earlier.
You know.
You knew him and happened to be a former nemesis with the king of vampires?
Well, he's my brother.
So you were royalty?
Oh, no, not at all. He won a duel against the former king of the vampires.
It's kind of being king of games. Only it doesn't send the rest of your family.
In our land, anyone can be ruler as long as he or she overthrows the former ruler. as it shows a sign of boldness and strength.
So he's the alpha.
Oh.
Oh
I
my
see.
god.
That makes a lot more sense.
Jacob, why did you need to make that reference?
Is it inaccurate?
No, it's not inaccurate, and I hate it.
This is why we
Why
don't
would
have
you
werewolves
apply
in this
the alpha
universe.
race? They applied the ABO to vampires.
I hate to interrupt, but I
Corveg
think I
doesn't
may
like
have
this.
sensed their superior.
Yeah.
The faster we finish this,
I may have.
Why do the voices sound alike?
Superior.
Because they're all half asleep when recording.
the better.
Yeah, that Ghost
It's
Kitty.
awfully
This is what
strange we were able
happens
to
when you
follow
deliver
through without
lines
any
with
loose
no inflection.
And when the director doesn't step in to tell you to do it properly.
Aliens coming at us.
Oh, so
Spoke too
Jacob,
soon, princess.
A terrible thing just came to mind. This has as much inflection as the main character in a terrible YA movie.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about, but then again, there could be several.
Twilight.
Okay, it was the one I was thinking of. Okay, fair enough. Wow, it looks like they were. It looks like the ground has become like a bedroom sheet. The way that blends together.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah, we're missing like a corner of a wall or something like that to really emphasize that it's not just like like a giant cardboard they've laid out.
They're a lot bigger than the usual Luzelians.
And not to mention,
They also don't look anything like usual Lozelians because they don't have 4 legs. In fact, they have 0. You know, that's something else we should mention. I feel like even younger me had more emotion than this for some of the Ghost Girl. I was thinking of Ghost Girl, actually, Ghost Kitty, as a comparison point. And yeah, admittedly, in that one, because again, I guess you were your own director and also all of the actors. You couldn't really tell yourself to do it again. But yeah. What are these? They look like Draconite, but they're probably called something else.
I think they're meant to be as guards, since they seem to be protecting that door.
Well...
oh no, Jacob's died again. I think. Am I dead? Oh no, Jacob. Yep.
I had my hotspot on because the internet decided to destroy itself, and then my phone died. Looks like the internet's back though.
Yay, the internet's back.
All right, so I had to load the video again. Okay.
I'm bored.
D-Rob. D-Rob. All right. The last good part we had. Somewhere about here.
I see you both alive, all right? Florusio!
Was that?
All right, they're distracted. Let's go.
They're still in front of you. You still have to sneak past them. They're still in front. What? Huh? What?
Well. I'm surprised you both made it this far.
Show yourself, whatever
Oh no.
you are.
If that's what you wish.
Did we accidentally predict the movie?
We might predict the movie.
Not what you expected? Who
Little
are you?
brother.
I'm nothing but someone who deserves to rule kingdoms, with these creatures willingly fighting by my side.
You manipulated them through your magic. None of this was any of their will.
My, you're a lot more sharp.
Yeah, they act willingly according to their will most of the time. With willfulness.
Than I thought. Tell me, what is your
Oh my goodness. Everyone's saying she's smarter than they thought. She's doing the bare minimum right now.
purpose here?
You'll soon
And
find out
always.
after we've defeated you.
And how?
But she'll be okay.
How are you so sure defeating me would stop this frost? Or much more, be able to defeat me? I'm sure you've already uncovered that I'm superior.
Like they say, it's the thought that counts. Just
What?
the thought alone could be our chance of defeating you.
Huh?
So take this!
Going aggressive now, are we? Well, two can play that game.
Yeah, I shouldn't have warned her about that. Neither of them were looking up. If your opponent flies to the ceiling, you look upwards, like this. We use our neck muscles, people. Oh, another encrusted sword that doesn't actually wedge into the wall. Take this. Would it be too much to ask if the few sound effects we get in this movie to be slightly louder, so it feels like they have like more of an impact, or to get like an or an or something like that from anyone?
Jacob, this is why I pay for sound effects.
This is why Code Lyoko moans are actually a good thing.
Because they fill the dead air.
Yep.
I find it farcical that a wielder and a royal like the both of you are
Also,
fighting together.
by the way,
although
sorry I had to step out for a minute, but one thing I don't like about this movie, the villain wasn't introduced before this point. The villain was hinted at to, but we never seen the villain up until the big climax with them.
I don't mind that so much, because that's essentially going back to the example of Tolkien. No, that's basically Sauron.
That's also the Fire Lord.
Yeah.
I guess I just kind of like to see a visual appearance or get to learn more about the villain.
As people,
scenes.
because of both those examples, Sauron and Ozai, we at least heard about the power they have over the rest of the world and like a hint towards their motivations. We build up the mystery if we don't ever actually see one of them. We see the other one in brief occasions. Yeah.
All we know is they're the big bad. That's all we know.
Mm-hmm.
Which imagine like a Buffy.
She deserves to rule kingdoms because she is powerful. Oh,
like imagine a
boy.
Buffy season do that. So the Master was briefly hinted to. Imagine the Master was briefly hinted to in season 1. At a few minor points, but then we only get to see him during like the climax of Prophecy Girl during season.
All we ever saw was the Anointed One.
Yeah.
We just see the child and nothing else.
Like, I mean, like, and then like we only get to see the climax where he fights. But even in that case, like that gives like a Buffy a chance to lose to him than to win against him later. Like, I think what would have been interesting is at one point if we see the main characters fight the villain, but at that point in the story they're not strong enough to beat the villain, and the villain beats them enough, and maybe the villain herself causes the lie reveal to happen. It's like, wow, you're so pathetic. You can't even protect her, even though it's your mission, or you know. And then she's like, wait, what? It's like, don't listen to her. It's like, oh, she doesn't know about the king? Oh, well, don't you see? Your daddy sent his little night boy here to protect you. How
much she
pathetic is
found out
that?
about that?
I don't know. It would have been more dramatic, though. You know, it would have caused a real low point in the movie, and it would have shown how powerful she is. And especially her mentally throwing each character off by like causing the lie reveal to happen, almost causing them to break up, and almost causing them both to permanently fail, would ultimately show the result that they both have, or something like that. You know, point being, because like again, the villain only appears in this one scene. Imagine that was like Abraxas in season 2. Like Abraxas like only appears in season 2 and is barely you know.
It's kind of Abraxas in season 1, but that's obviously
like
he's not meant to be defeated.
Yeah,
he's being built up. Even then, we have examples of like, I guess like his followers and the influence that he had, or like what he stood for. We had an idea going in even before he showed up.
Yeah,
it was all meticulously crafted. It was meant to be like build up like the big reveal of him actually emerging, build up the fear from the audience.
Yeah, versus in this case, it's just like, oh, okay, I guess we're fighting the big bad who we never seen, which. As far as like building up a villain goes, that's not great. Like maybe as a minor antagonist throughout the movie, having them be a one and done scene thing, or like you build up halfway through the movie, they fight this bad guy, but then this bad guy hints that there's a bigger big bad, and that bigger big bad makes a reveal after and kills the villain they were struggling fighting with because they failed her or whatever. I don't know. To make them seem more of a threat and learn more about them, because again, it makes the villain feel very shallow and like, okay, here they are now. I guess we needed someone big to punch. Okay, like imagine Infinity War. That's Infinity War. Like we only got to see Thanos in the final scene of Infinity War, getting the last stone. Everything was off camera. Everything was just. Like
yeah, none of the movies didn't have any influence. No, none of that.
No, we barely heard about him, and then retroactively, it's like, oh yeah, he influenced all this stuff. Totally, guys, totally. Trust me, bro.
It was me, Barry. wrong company, but
Yeah, it was me, Barry. I made you think. Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Is the outfit edited? It's part of the course looking capability thing. Yeah, I think most of that outfit for the main character is edited because again we have like the satchel, which is not an actual Gacha prop that's been there the whole time, which she hasn't used in this whole experience. Anyway,
satchel, the B&G satchel.
Most like Emperor. So if I wrote them, I write it so we hear about from the civilians / minions, both good and bad rumors are conflict until we actually meet. So yeah, speaking of emperors, Star Wars is also kind of the same. We don't see the emperor until the second movie. There's a build up for a little while before he shows up.
What if with this curse in the winter, this gave her extra power, where it's like she has power to mind control people by afflicting them with some sort of like frost effect, where we get to see some of her power, some of her influence through them, where she kind of speaks through the antagonist as they're fighting her, and like. Yeah, the villains are strong normally, but they become super powered when they're in this frostbite form. They get ice powers, and they become super menacing and like a lot bigger. Or something.
You just reminded me of another example of this. Nova from Later Battle Angel. Another example of villain that was built up that we didn't actually see, but actually did speak through some other characters occasionally. And then towards like the very end, one shot at the final and like the penultimate scene of the movie. Takes off the glasses and we see Nova's face for the first time, finally humanizing essentially this whole like non-corporeal influence that we've had as a threat this whole movie.
Yeah. When it comes to Monster Compendium, I've done the same thing. In the first episode, I dropped the name of one of the major villains in the Rogues Gallery.
I suppose we could also include Xana. Xana doesn't have a corporeal form, but clearly the influence of the monsters and the followers and the attacks, all that stuff happens. Yeah,
Xana doesn't need a corporeal form, and honestly,
exactly. Xana's intimidating enough without one.
And honestly, I think it may have been interesting if she's like some sort of frost spirit or something, like a non-corporeal being causing this curse, and it's all about trying to break her curse and trying to break her, but like she's the frost spirit and she's influencing everyone.
Yeah, like the first in a way.
Yeah, like you don't have to be able to punch her, you just have to stop her influence from affecting everyone, and then bam, you win.
Once more, I'm taking notes, Kirsty, because the inspirational. You are going to have enough stories for the rest of your life from just these reviews alone.
I'm sorry.
If you become a published author, we're claiming royalties.
You're just pretty weak. For someone superior, I expected more.
What?
Barely done anything in this moment.
Did you say?
For someone superior, I expected more.
Yeah. Also, are we going to get like a beam saber from the different swords or something? I would have to see like a laser from Aiden and then like a fire blast, like a beam clash or something. I don't know if there's like this.
Also, by the way, why is his sword transparent in his satchel?
Because logic.
Why is his sword transparent in the satchel?
Okay, because that's the same sword that is supposed to be in Kalissa's hands right now. So she's not supposed to have that.
So, but there's like a transparent version of the sword. There's a ghost sword in his satchel, apparently.
Yep.
It's a goose sword.
Interesting that Jonathan's crown thing was used like there's someone their sword kind of like purposely used, or like Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball, just like use like a helmet and like send her like a beam forwards.
Don't worry. I just want to see what her intentions are. Trust me, if things go out of hand, I have a
But
plan,
she's evil.
right?
She tried to kill you this whole movie, technically.
One.
Also, another Fallen comparison, discussing stuff right while who's going to hold off the bad guy right before they strike and up in the
I
air.
said you're pretty weak, Superior.
What's that? I can't hear you from above. You'll have to actually project.
I'll make sure you regret saying those words.
Okay, admittedly, the Spirit is actually probably one of the best actors so far. Actually, I can tell, I can sense the anger.
Dang, why did this VA be absent from the movie until this point?
They're being saved.
They were too good for the whole movie. They're like, oh no, we must save the goodness for the.
It seems you're running out of stamina, Wielder. Want to have a break like your princess over there?
He just did one strike. How's he running out of stamina? We never see him like on the ground panting. That's the sign of running out of stamina. We have to see that first.
Yeah, the fight just started. What do you mean?
The name's Aiden, and keep on dreaming.
Could you please?
Aiden!
Tell me who.
My head, my amnesia. I remember everything now. I'm cured from the curse.
Who's weak now, Aiden?
Oh, it took his head trauma.
Yeah.
You are.
Aiden!
You have a sword. Just stab him for crying out loud.
Wait, no.
Oh, sure. He can just do, telekinesis. Yeah, you left yourself
Everyone
open.
just has telekinesis in this movie, apparently.
Also, it's not even Kalissa, the main character, that was the final blow. Jeez.
I tried to warn you, didn't I? You shouldn't underestimate me.
I'm magic. I can heal myself.
So, you're one of those types, huh?
You let him pick up the sword again!
Disarm him!
Just like banish it away. Send it further away from yourself and not straight back.
Or use the sword, or turn the sword on him and have him slash him in the chest or something. Or stab him right through the
Anything.
chest.
Yeah. Make it like work like a spinning blade or something and get him in the head. Anything. Just anything.
Too bad your uncontrollable side came from those royals. Still, you can never beat someone like me.
Quit bluffing.
I'm not the one who's stabbed right now.
You can never be someone like me actively losing blood.
I'm all powerful. You can't beat me. You're bleeding out. What do you mean?
All right, we'll call it a draw.
I guess this is a tie. You're dying. No, I'm not. I'm just strategically retreating, guys. Trust me, bro. Like
I just read Bond's comments. Debrief us. What happened? Where am I again? His burst. Yeah, I knew you could reference that. You referenced the same thing last episode. I knew you were going that direction. I knew that was happening. Side note: never understood the hat that Aiden is wearing. Is what kind of hat is that meant to be? It's the height of fashion in this universe. For wielders.
This could just be a mere illusion for all I care. Or not that I care about you at all.
Oh,
yes, see, like I told you, she can heal.
Oh my god, she healed herself while you're talking. She was stabbed. Why don't you just try stabbing her again before she heals?
Yeah, no one does anything in a timely fashion in this episode. They can't even talk quickly.
Oh,
like I would understand
will
if her other hand was like holding you as you're like holding you midair with you have your sword out. Where it's like I will get you, you know, and that gives her time to heal. But like that's different than them just standing there talking while she heals.
Yeah.
You figured out who I truly am.
No, but we figured it out ages ago before you showed up.
We figured it out instantly. Literally
Give
as
me all you
soon as
got,
you were
Aiden.
mentioned.
Gladly.
Wait, how do you know my name?
Aiden, wait, stop.
Oh, she's worked it out because, of course, she's got to be the smart one now.
Girl, don't run in front of don't run in front of your enemy's sword.
Yeah,
it's not worth dying for your enemy.
Have you learned nothing from Luna? That's a bad idea.
Kalissa, what are you doing?
You're welcome.
Aiden, you need to get a hold of yourself.
Not now.
What do you mean?
Get a hold of himself.
He wasn't out of control. What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Aiden when he's like enraged and unhinged and unleashing all of his magical power. because he's such an emotional guy and so mad all the time.
Princess, I need to finish this
Okay,
pest.
I'm gonna compare this to like Demon Girl Saves the Underworld. When
Please do.
when the demons use too much of power and lose control of their emotions, and like that whole thing happens, they become rabid animals, just lashing out and attacking everything with no thought or reason behind what they're doing. Clearly in this case, for this character, lashing out isn't much. He clearly has full control of his being.
Yep.
I don't
Like,
understand.
God.
I figured out who she is.
Okay, Anne, I don't care. She
Mhm.
should die. She cursed us all. What do you mean?
Admittedly, we figured it out because, like, as an audience members, it's pretty obvious where the story is going now. But how did she, in universe, work it out from one mention?
She's so smart, guys. She is so smart.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's definitely it. Yeah, of course. Finally, I have stabbed you. Oh, so this is it. Okay. I will become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. Who strikes me down, the curse shall prevail. MC, how is she? I stabbed her. What? You know what? I give up. Come back here. I'm not done explaining my evil plans, Perry the Platypus.
And then in the moment you guys were talking and discussing this, you gave her a chance to kill you both. You're great.
Yeah,
you're great. You're great.
They keep doing this. Yeah.
Stop forgetting about her.
He stabs her.
She's still there. No. Oh.
No one saw that coming at all.
He tried to give you a chance. You should have just walked away when you could.
You should have killed him when you had the chance. Villain Dialogue 101. We're not so different, you and I.
Aiden, why did you...
She's still behind you, right? She's still...
Yeah,
has a
she's
sword.
right there! What? She's gonna stab you too!
Out of the way!
No, you didn't. You didn't have to at all. You...
Yeah, no, you really did. Like, just heal. Just use a shield next time. You have the power of shields. We saw you use them earlier. So yes, you literally did not have to do this.
You suck at this. God.
And if anyone says his powers have been drained, no, he's just been with a magic battle with, and he seems perfectly fine.
I swore to protect you, even if it means getting my life risked.
Okay, no, go kill her. She's right behind you. She can kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just
I don't
leave
like
me
it.
just when I've remembered all about you.
Oh.
No, Ada, no. I can't just leave me. How could you do this to me? I am so...
And look, she's crying. She doesn't even sound like she's crying. Like,
I mean, I compared the acting to the room earlier, but even in the room, even Tommy Wiseau was a better actor. Because at least he tried to project, and he at least tried a meltdown. He knew that he at least had to like vary up his inflection. This lot didn't even do that.
Harsh, isn't it? But that's how you royals were to me.
And so...
Okay, but why are you trying to attack her?
This whole thing was just your way of revenge against us royals?
Yes! That was the whole point of the curse in the first place! You, yourself, revealed that information from the book that you studied, that you knew about the wielder's banishment, and that the curse was inflicted upon them as a revenge. That's why you recognized this curse to begin with. It happened before, for the exact same reason. So yes, this was the motivation. Well done for working that out an hour and a half into the movie.
Guys, she's so smart. She is so smart. Oh my
Isn't she
god.
just 10,000 IQ?
I was misunderstood.
Like, she's the most intelligent main character. Only second to Adam, who is also very intelligent and never.
Yeah, she worked out stuff that was revealed by herself mere days earlier.
Mistreated. And did the king do anything about it? No, nothing at all. He was too busy acting like a saint in the eyes of his citizens.
Imagine if, like, she's not looking where she's going. Imagine if she just trips and falls and, like, falls on a sword, and that's the end of the movie.
citizens than caring for the one who was able to bring him to that position. He ended my hope.
Oh, watch out! Constantly gets stabbed.
Wait a minute. You said he ended your hope. What about your endless hope?
Wow.
So will begin a harsh and relentless future, starting by finishing you!
You've been replenishing your life.
You're bad at this. You are bad at this. God.
We just acknowledge how like casual that was. It's like, I'm sorry, let me just get this straight. You've been doing this. I'm not gonna look at you right now. Let me just clarify this information for you. You've been doing all of this just to get revenge. How pitiful must you be?
Of course, a royal like you wouldn't understand, since you superiors are always blind in who to trust, without even considering a second thought through the process.
Looks like you figured us out. But at least we'd actually take the time to trust people. Unlike you, who are
Didn't
using
she
your
like
work
trust
as
the army?
Well, yes. Well, she trusts her thing. I guess now she's learning that taking a chance to people is not a bad thing, even if she's been betrayed. Her trust betrayed by the person that she put the most trust into, aka the guy just died on the floor right now. She saw that it was worthwhile in the end, even if he didn't tell her everything all right in the moment. I think that was part of like what she was. That's what she learns on her journey to grow.
I thought the lesson of the story was it's futile. I thought the lesson of the story is no matter what happens, it's not futile to try.
Okay, I think it can have the story can have two morals. Why not?
I mean, I guess, but you got to center both morals at once for that to properly work.
For your own benefit.
Please, it's not like you royals would do anything about it. After all,
she's here, genius! Yes, I braved through this whole winter, fought a bunch of people to get here because I wouldn't do anything about it. Excuse me, why do you think I'm here?
Do any of these characters think before they talk?
No.
Frost.
And yet, I'm here.
Just dodges the point blank fire blast as one does.
If you both would have just let this Frost be, you wouldn't be facing through this hardship.
Oh, yes. I'd rather freeze to death. You're so right. Freezing to death in a kingdom while everyone else dies was so much better of an option.
Also, what a great observation. If you both decide to not be here right now, you wouldn't be here right now.
Listen, in this case, it's not like something she didn't have to do because someone else was going to do it for her. No one else was going to do it, so she decided to do it. Therefore, it's not like she didn't have to do this. It was either everyone freezes to death or she does this.
I just saw the main girl, similar shades of color in their outfit. I feel like it could be representing something. They're not so different, she and her.
And I. Let the future generations of our kingdom suffer. Besides,
I hate
it's
that
what you
trope. I
wanted,
hate it so much.
isn't it?
Oh man, I got betrayed once. You know why? So therefore, I'm gonna freeze everyone to death. See, that'll get my point across.
Is dialogue in fast forward right now?
For two.
Of course it is. You're just getting in my way of manifesting justice.
Justice for what? Everyone dies? How is that justice? How's that much better?
It's justice for her. Yeah. Wait, hold on. She was launched backwards, but yet she's running forwards now. What? Away from?
Okay, sure. Oh.
What more could you possibly have to vouch?
Yeah. By the way, these two are roughly the same height. Why was the laser was the beam up that high? Did she just go
She's really bad at aiming. She's got stormtrooper aim.
Yeah, but it was also it was aiming in a straight line, so you must have fired it from upwards. Anyway.
You see, I have one thing to say to the creator of this movie. This is why I buy sound effects. This is why I go out of my way to look.
You don't even. Here's the thing: you don't even have to buy sound effects. Use this magical resource called the YouTube Audio Library,
or freesoundeffect.net, possibly both.
To get the right sound effect, so you're not just using, pitiful sword clashes, explosions with no impact, and pew.
Well, everyone, the audience could just imagine a sound effect there. Just imagine a sound effect.
I
Just
will use my
imagine-
lightning to strike you. Unlimited
Just
power.
manifest-
No, it's not like that. It's like just wave your hands, like and lightning comes out. Like was there supposed to be a sound effect? It's like, listen, it will be added later. This is the final edit. It will be added later. There's isn't gonna be a later. I'm dying.
Side mission from here on out, princess. There is nothing you can do.
You know, if I was in this, I would just have both the villain and the main girl just to get them to shut up. They literally talk more than Rory from the Swap Twins mini-movie. Roy was the narrator, I'm fairly certain as well. That's a lot.
You never wanted to kill us royals.
What are you?
You can't kill us. It is forbidden in your power to do so. That's why you didn't finish me off when you were fighting Aiden.
No.
Really? But she aimed a blast directly at you and didn't know that Aiden was going to jump in front of it. So clearly she's able to at least like launch a strike.
Oh man, I'm gonna close my eyes and blast in your general area. You know, I can't directly harm you, but I could do this. Pew 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 pew. Oh, I think I heard someone die. Oh, yep, you're dead. Never
Also,
mind.
if a single royal dies from hypothermia as a result of the blizzard that has just ensued, that is technically, again, by her actions, so that must mean she would disobeyed the law.
No, it's indirect. Therefore, it's not actually killing. It's like God. It's like Marvel movie logic.
Batman.
Oh, did you know? Oh man, Mysterio got shot by his own drones. Therefore, Peter didn't inadvertently kill him. He technically didn't kill anyone. It's like, no, he inadvertently killed him.
I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you either.
Like, fam, letting someone indirectly die or causing something indirectly to happen to someone to kill them is still killing them. You're not any better. You're just as bad. God.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Oh, I didn't stab you personally in the chest. I mean, I hired a bunch of assassins to do it to you, but I didn't do it directly. Therefore, I didn't kill you. Oh yeah, I only controlled the car that hit you. I didn't kill you.
It was a remote. Yeah.
It was the car that killed you, not me.
Mm-hmm.
I only shot you with the gun. I didn't kill you. The gun killed you. Obviously. Like, no. You...
Mm-hmm.
It was the bullet that killed you. Duh.
Yeah. Also, where were these ancient laws described that said that rulers can't kill royals? Why is that only just being talked about now?
You anytime this instant.
Then why?
Don't mean any time this instant. This instant is 1 moment in time. Any time is any time.
You execute the king. Clearly, you had all the power to execute him, yet you didn't, but created this curse instead.
I had my reasons.
I mean, killing all royals instead of just one would have worked.
No, you knew you couldn't kill us royals because it's in your blood to be unable to demolish us. That's why you put a curse instead, because suffering was the closest thing to execution.
Fine, put your sword down right now. We'll see. And we'll see if you if she's able to do so. Test out your theory for us.
Wait, if she can't actually hurt you or kill you, why is she even trying to fight you? You're still a royal. You know what?
Because I guess, yeah, suffering doesn't count. She can leave her in a critical condition, but as long as she's not clinically dead, that's all that counts.
You know, hey, you know what show this was done better in?
Every show.
Once Upon a Time. Okay, so for context, Cruella was cursed to never be able to physically harm anyone ever. But Emma, the main character, didn't know that. So when Cruella had Henry at knife point and was threatening to kill him, she had to push her off a cliff to save Henry's life because she didn't realize that she actually couldn't kill him no matter what. So, but the only reason that happened was because because they needed her to go dark or do something dark so she would be a quote unquote dark savior so they could use her blood for plot reasons. But the point being, But the point being, the situation was set up to make it look like to make the character die, even though make the character kill them, even though the character threatening the other character wasn't couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, here, that was actually very much a possibility in the first place.
Yeah.
Oh, as for the question of Ghost Kitty asked earlier, why is the mouse so fast? It's because the dialogue is so fast, and therefore the lip syncing speeds up a lot more.
No, this can't end like this.
Okay, well, try and do anything.
What are you doing? Don't you?
You just want it to be.
Don't hug her. She stabbed Aiden. He's possibly dead over there already. Why? She's evil.
Forget about Aiden. He betrayed her. He kept secrets.
Guys,
That's way worse.
it's forgiveness. Forgiveness is all that matters, okay? Forgiveness is all that matters. We have to forgive our enemies.
Be favored by those worthy of your trust. Surprisingly enough, even as a royal, I can understand how you feel. I've dealt with it, especially with my father.
You did?
Definitely.
My goal was to always be able to please people in whatever way I can.
Hey, but by what? What, freezing them all? No one's pleased.
Ah, yes, hypothermia. I am so pleased, guys. Hashtag blessed.
Not a single person is pleased about this, apart from Old Man Wilson, who's thinking to himself, "Finally, some decent air conditioning." Other than him, no one else is pleased about this.
To be favored in their eyes, but when the incident happened with the king, I cursed the kingdoms with this frost and...
Also, by the way, the badge of the wheel at the beginning, it was almost said to be like the ancestors of these kings, not like the actual King Nicholas right now. So I guess this is all recent stuff that was not... for some reason was put into a book that was treated as ancient history and a myth, and was lost to time, even though it happened within the lifetimes of most of the people who are alive at this point in the story. Cool.
Logic?
Fantastic.
What's logic, guys? I don't know what logic is. Logic is a made-up thing.
Kronos is just, weeping in the corner right now. Both versions, both the Greek figure and the Monster Compendium character, they're both like huddling with each other.
They're huddled up with each other right now. They're like,
come now, villains. Come on, villains, sit down. Let's talk about it.
Help me! I need help.
You just hear him like off screen, just still making dying noises.
I focused more about revenge than trying to justify myself.
No, you were justifying yourself. You justified yourself so then you could get revenge.
Able to raise a hand against royals, he wouldn't have been deceived.
I mean, honestly, people could justify themselves with doing atrocious things with pretty much anything. I feel like a lot of people nowadays try to do that. They'll do and say horrible things, but they'll just find some justification. Oh, they were mean to me, or oh, well, they would do it to me eventually, so I might as well do it now. You just need to justify yourself, and then you could do anything pretty much.
Oh, boo-hoo, cram me with the super crocodile tears. You can go hang out with Zack from Lion Gate. I don't believe in crocodile tears until I see proof of change. Well, yeah. I guess I by my estimate...
No, wait, that's also left. Ian from Lionsgate. Boo-hoo.
Yes.
Poor you. Yeah, tell that to the people you got killed because of your actions. Tell that to all the people you tried to mind control, huh?
By my estimates, we should have one scene left. So if we're going to see the proof of change, we'll see now.
If I were to fight you, it wouldn't make me any lesser than the first king. We all make
yes, it would, because she tried to kill you and curse you.
The first king didn't get
if I kill you, I'm just as bad as you. No, you're not.
Not just as bad as her, just as bad as the king, who all did was banish somebody for no reason. This is a righteous cause,
Yeah, there's psychic. Yeah, don't get me wrong. In stories like this, there are cycles of violence, but at the same time, you can't just be like, oh, I'm just as bad as everyone else if I do this. Sometimes you're really not, And I understand sympathizing your villain. That's fine. But there's a difference between sympathizing for villain and being like, oh, maybe they were a little bit justified in trying to kill us all. Maybe they were just a little bit justified. No, I don't care if they have the worst backstory ever. If you try to kill me, I ain't gonna be like, oh, maybe you had your reasons. I'd be like, screw you. I ain't dealing with your shit. Stuff. I ain't dealing with your stuff.
Start a meaningful future. Thank you, Kalissa.
It's time you had your rest.
Oh, is she dead?
I
I guess
think
she's dead.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Aiden.
Yeah. Oh wow! I wonder. Dude, he was dying while you were having a little heart to heart.
I guess if she was a spirit this whole time, maybe she wasn't the sister after all, and it was like actually was the first of the wielders, and that's why she remembers from a long time ago. And that's why then the curse was actually ancient. But yeah, but that wasn't really like properly explained. I'm just going by the spirit thing now. Unless the sister
her
fell off a
demise
cliff
was
8 years ago,
unless
and
her
this is really just
unless her demise was undoing the curse, like she has to kill herself to end the curse? Question mark.
I swear this isn't My Little Pony, not need the power of friendship to fix anything. Imagine if the Ponies movie ended like that. The Queen just like has a friendship speech delivered straight at her, and that by Sweetie Belle and Rainbow, and that's all that it took in the end.
Oh man, you
that's all that it
genocided
took.
all the ponies, Queen. But you know, I'm sure you had your reasons. So maybe we all can coexist peacefully. I mean, yeah, everyone else is dead, but we can coexist. Just us. That's
Yeah,
cool.
we'll
I forgive
rebuild the
you.
world somehow. I don't know how we're gonna do that.
We will repopulate, even though you've killed literally
Everyone is
everybody.
dead. All the men are dead. We cannot
Actually, no.
repopulate anymore. But you know.
Actually, no. Rainbow's a guy, so technically, yeah. As long as
Rainbow, we are going to have to do a lot of inbreeding to get the population up, but eventually there will be less inbreeding.
Well, they won't. Their descendants will.
Please, no. Tell me that you're alive, please.
You're sparkling.
Tell me that you're alive.
How are you alive? You got stabbed in the chest.
How are you
Also,
alive?
apparently, I guess she's got gloves, so the contact curse does not really like kick in. Either that, or maybe Aiden, you were right. He was clinically dead for a bit, and that's why the curse is lifted.
Maybe.
Or it's just conceal, don't feel logic, and the gloves don't count. So
Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. But now I know. Let it go. Yes.
Let me die. Let me die. I'm
in
out
great
of this
pain
film right now.
My queen is over there. I don't even know how.
All my guards have been spewed on the floor.
My entrails cry.
The blood loss never bothered me. Doesn't even finish the line.
I feel like my brain is melting out of my ears.
No, you are supposed to be dead.
A llama? You're supposed to be dead!
I was thinking more like Aaron saying that to Afma on the minigames, but that
Looks
too.
like you were the savior of us all.
Seems like it.
That was the plan.
Oh, your wound. Are you alright?
Oh yeah, you're still dying. I completely forgot about it this whole time. I was like hugging the villain.
It's healing. Since Consort Elise has been defeated,
what?
All the magic is beginning to drain.
What? No. So wait, because she's dead, any wound she inflicted on people still alive heal. Okay, I'm sorry.
Was her sword magic? That's my question.
It's a physical wound. It's not like a curse where you're dying. Like I understand if it's a curse that's slowly killing you, but it's a physical wound. What do you mean? Oh man, if someone stabs me in the chest, but then I snap their neck, I'm not gonna instantly start healing and be better.
You see them like reanimate and their neck just like swivels back again. It's been lifted.
The curse has been lifted. The physical curse and the physical wound has been lifted.
Oh god! I swear we're almost done.
This frost.
Aiden should have died. I'm sorry. He got stabbed in the chest. That's not really a wound that you casually just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be fine."
That would have been too sad.
Never thought I'd be going against my great grandmother, fighting her like I did.
Okay, so there we go. Great grandmother, not sister. Fair enough. We were wrong again.
There's still blood.
There's still a sister missing, but yeah.
At least she's put to rest now. So, I'm assuming you remember me now. don't you?
You already said that
still
earlier. You know, when we were talking right in front of the villain. Remember?
Yes.
Remember the villain with the sword that was about to kill us? You know, when we were like having a kind of conversation in front of her.
To think I'd call you a Freyden since you get startled by small things easily.
Oh, that dreadful name.
I'm glad you're back.
Me too.
Aiden, princess. Are you guys
Oh,
all
hey,
right?
Aiden, were you stabbed? Because you look like you're bleeding.
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah. Are you guys all right? And to quote Bond, dude, do I look all right?
Dude, I'm bleeding out. What do you think?
Mhm.
You look.
All right, at least one positive detail here: the
Why-
blood on the trousers. Like you see, like the actual wound, like trickling down and such.
Trained.
Yeah, but I kind of wish the wound would
alright.
look deeper because, like, the thing is, it doesn't look like there's an actual, like, there should be, like, a really dark red bit where it's, like, where the cut was really deep. And,
Vivian,
like, as you
Vivian's
go
just
out,
like,
as you go out, because that looks more like it's blood stained, like he touched something bloody, not there was
Yeah,
an
yeah,
actual wound
that's
where the
fair.
blood's leaking out of.
yeah. Also, Vivian just like smells. It's like, Aiden, that's very
That's
interesting.
delicious.
Yeah.
Aiden, Aiden, I've never been so into you
Are
just
you-
now. Can I have a taste real quick?
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh,
give me more. Oh, you're eating all the blood out. Oh,
it's like, oh no, Aiden, you're bleeding. I must disinfect the wound quickly. Allow me.
She just goes ham on the wound, like, you're causing it to get worse. It's like, no.
You know what they say? It's got to get worse before
Meanwhile,
it gets better.
Jacob, Aiden, I'm going through a few test scripts for the second episode of Monster
Yeah.
Compendium. Someone asked Ulrich, "Hey, are you alright?" And Ulrich's reaction immediately is that a rhetorical question?
Perfect.
Sassy Ulrich. We love to see
You know-
him.
I feel like that one Puss in Boots
You
scene.
know, because
You said you were going to a spiritual retreat. Namaste. And you're supposed to be dead. I got better. That's actually a Monty Python reference too. Turn me into a newt. I got better.
Don't worry. It took some time to conquer our rivals here and there, but it worked out. I'm assuming you guys.
blood.
No, she did.
Ooh, is that dinner I see?
Yeah.
Call the credit. But
Oh,
Also, by the way,
you shouldn't have.
Also, by the way, she is a terrible vampire. Because just saying, we haven't seen her had to drink any blood or anything like that, and I don't like that aspect because, like, I kind of wish they just made her a demon instead of a vampire. Because, like, come on, you're not going to acknowledge that she has some sort of blood thirst for blood at all. Like,
We just
okay,
cuts the dragon eye outside, and they just like absorbs like husks or something.
because, like,
now
here's
or
the
future
thing:
generations.
when it comes to vampiric war and my hybrid vampires, in that case, here is the thing with it. They technically do require blood, but not that much blood. Like, it's just, you know, they drink animal blood and they're satiated, unlike a vampire having to drink a lot more blood and having to keep that regularly filled.
And they
know.
can also eat other things as well, like the half
Yeah.
vampires can.
Like, that's the thing with them. But like,
She's-
again,
she's vegetarian. She eats the color red. I made this Marceline joke in part one.
Honestly, I think the whole eating color red was just a censorship thing that Cartoon Network did. It was like, oh, we can't actually ever be drinking blood casually.
Okay,
I know.
yes, potentially, but it's also funny.
Yeah, I mean, I know we see
Generations won't
people
have to
getting
suffer.
bit eventually, but it's like that was later seasons. Like that was like season 7 when we actually saw people actually being willing to be bit.
Okay, 0 scenes then.
Oh, we're finally done. We're good.
Also, this
Wait, do
just
we not
moved.
get like a reconciliation with the king? No resolution for that.
What about the
No.
wedding?
Yeah. What about? Yeah, Prince Espia's there waiting for something to happen. Is that still? Is the marriage still on? Does Aiden now just retreat back again? Are the wielders unbanished? Is there like any epilogue whatsoever?
Okay.
Any resolution for
Because
anything other
as
than
far-
the spirit? The one person who gets closure is the villain of the whole movie.
And keep in mind, again,
It's
the
only
villain
this
was only
scene.
in the last scene after being
And
very
Vivian too,
poorly
that's-
built up
that's
to.
closure too.
Very poorly built up to. It's not even well built up to. We only started hearing about this potential villain halfway through the movie. That's it.
Pardon my French. Sacre bleu.
I look, actually, really pretty art.
Yeah. It's going to be end on something good finally. Yeah.
Although they have different art styles. Like, look at that Aiden art compared to the Miller art.
Well, look at all those artists, I suppose, yeah.
She has no feet. Oh, she's really chibi. I like that. Like the little chibi art. Ooh, that's cute. I like that art.
Yeah, they all are. They're all good friends, even though half of them never met each other.
Also, by the way, the queen in this movie was such a non-character. She just like okay, like why okay, like honestly, I would have preferred if they pulled a Disney and killed off the queen. Because
I wouldn't, because one of the reasons that the king actually like acquiesced and decided to let her go and then hire Aiden was because the queen convinced him to do so.
I guess, but I just don't like how the queen was just a non-character. Like the queen was so uninvolved. Like for example, what if in the flashback scene where we see him sending Aiden off, the queen's there and the queen's also sending him off. So it's the king and queen.
Giving him more instructions on top of that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's also
because
true.
like that makes the queen feel more like a character. The queen just kind of feels like, hello, I am the queen. I am just the wife of the king. I am just here, sitting here, and
she did have that comfort scene with Kalissa in part 1 as well. Great
I
credits
guess, but it's just like I don't know. I'm not really a fan of when it's just like, hello, I am romantic partner of other parent that is important. Beep boop. I have character. Totally. I agree with my partner. Beep boop. They are right. You should listen to them.
She disagreed like multiple times.
Yeah, listen, okay. Queen need more character.
In fact, she's the only one the king actually listened to and backed down for. Everything else was like, I refuse to hear anything more of this. We will not talk about this. We'll speak no further. How dare you? Go to your room, daughter. And then with the queen, one was like, but Narissa, whatever her name was, I can't remember now. Like he actually does like back down. So clearly, at least to him, she's much more valuable than we guess we saw.
I guess.
In this.
I just don't like
everyone could use a bit more in this.
Like the queen needed more character and more development or more something more standoutish with her. Like a lot of these characters need more standoutish. Like I thought the love interest was very flat for what I saw of him. Like he was kind of just like there. I mean, he was nice.
What's everyone's cons for this movie? I love what you even asked like the pros. We've run out of pros. We've mentioned all the pros last episode.
Yeah,
they're the same ones that in
the second part honestly has just been cons at this point. Like maybe a handful of pros every once in a while, but like it's mostly just been 90% cons.
Yeah,
maybe 95 technically, but it's like dang.
Yeah. So okay. So major cons, of course, is some of what we were saying.
Poor
acting.
pacing.
Talk about that. Pacing. Yeah. Poor pacing.
Terrible main villain.
Yeah.
No stakes. Like Aiden didn't die after getting stabbed in the chest, and I hated that. Like, come on.
I would say that. That's not no stakes. There were stakes because the entire world was in danger.
There wasn't stakes. The main villain couldn't even kill the main character. Excuse me.
But she can kill the rest of the world with the winter. That was what they were there.
Yeah, but when you're having a direct confrontation with someone, like a direct physical confrontation with someone, and it's like, oh yeah, I actually can't kill you. Why fight them?
Because honestly, a defeat can still happen. If Clarissa hadn't actually won, sorry, not Clarissa, Kalissa had actually lost during that time, she could have very easily just been either imprisoned or frozen again, or I don't know, to use Monty Python's example again, incapacitated with all of her limbs chopped off or something like that. There are multiple scenarios where she'd be unable to save the world, but would still be alive.
But I mean, hypothetically speaking, if all her limbs were cut off and she was bleeding out and then ended up accidentally bleeding out because the main villain didn't do it right, therefore she broke her oath, therefore she failed.
But you see, that was indirect. All the villain did was sever the limbs. The blood loss was what finished her off, you see.
Oh, obviously. How could I be so blind to that fact?
Of course, yeah.
Kill me.
I agree with Ghosty. I agree. Kill me too.
I guess to remember what Ariane Larai said about some of the obvious mistakes, probably referring to visual mistakes. Yes, some of the mistakes were obvious, but honestly, the rushed nature of the production is more noticeable in weirdly enough, the stuff that would have come right at the beginning, namely the story. Because even without and the voice acting as well, because you have to sync that up. Because if you're doing lip sync, you have to like have something to sync to the lips in the first place. So you gotta get the voice acting done first. So those two things were just sort of hand waved aside in favor of the visuals, which is again what I always fear is going to happen within these movies. And for a brief time, namely after part 1, I thought, hey, we found somebody who actually maybe doesn't have quite have the balance perfectly, but has shown competent storytelling in small bursts, and that might be enough if it is continued through to carry the rest of the movie. And
was it continued through, Jay?
It does not. Absolutely, categorically.
Part 1
no.
of this stream, or the first stream, had it was a little bit off, but it worked. But the second part, no, just completely dropped the ball. Not good.
Every single thing. It has been definitely being out the villain, the main goal. Thought where was the vampire person during the fight, or the army for that matter. I feel like I'm gonna have a mental emotional breakdown. I absolutely hated this. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I absolutely despise this. I mean, again, we talked about my shimmering husband and all these other things, but yeah, this definitely feels like much like Beauty is Pain. It feels like the start off with a promising nature, and then it got to halfway through, and it just plummeted very quickly.
I mean, that's what frustrates me about it, though. It's one thing if something starts off bad and it's bad all the way through, and there's no potential. But the more frustrating it gets is when there is potential. There is something I could see a value in it, but I don't see. But it failed at it, and that's the problem. It could have been good. It just wasn't.
Yeah. And,
it's not like some stuff I've seen where it's like, oh man, yeah, there's no way this could have been good.
Okay, I actually did think of a pro. The argument between Aiden and Vivian to do with Xavier, Exandrian, whatever his name was. That part actually was the few moments where those two actually did act their best, which is still not saying much, but again, small bursts, and actually they managed to. I mean, even Maya was significantly shocked by some of the harshness from those two, because again, they were such close friends that of course they can be thought to be harsh with each other, and eventually after Vivian calmed down, that was decided that was the right choice. I'm not so a fan of her leaving immediately because of that, just because it got brought up. Because again, people seem to be like, "Oh, I will never develop just any of this, and I can't stick by you if you're going to bring it up to me, even if you happen to be right." But at least she actually realized from her close friend that she was being unreasonable, and he was the only person who could actually get through to her in the way that he did. So for all those reasons, that scene alone works. And if anything, Vivian, once again, is one of the only characters who was allowed closure for this, because we're denied an epilogue for this story. So I guess that's one of the few things to latch onto in this. It's a silver lining amidst a storm that even Aiden's laser sword could not blast away. Yeah, it also reminds me of that Darn Oxygen story we reviewed. It looked so promising and so much potential. It was so bad. Yeah, Darn does not count as a swear. I say that all the time. Yeah. Pretty much. I think that's it. Let's go watch some Code Lyoko, guys. That's
yeah.
Please, I need Code Lyoko right now. Even the cheesy moans.
Half of our Code Lyoko nights are caused by us watching bad gacha videos and then having to watch something good to counterbalance them. So
we're having to watch something to detox.
All right, well, let's detox then, shall we? For everyone else, of course, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. Subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.